Shit. Hello and welcome back to Think Outside the Blocks, the thing that everybody looks forward to all day Sunday. I know I do. I know I work my butt off trying to get something built for the live stream. And this is your weekly live stream. We call it Think Outside the Blocks because we want to encourage you to think outside the perceived rigidity of the Lego medium and also think outside your mental blocks when you're creating original Lego creations. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld. And as usual, everyone's favorite host, guy on my left, it's Ben Z. Cerberus Hauger. Ben, how you doing this week?
Oh, it's been another busy week as usual, but I'm here.
It's been a little nuts.
Back to our normal schedule. We had to modify last week. We had a special episode on Monday for anyone who missed it, where we talked about a particular set that was announced with a Lego Master, a winner, in fact, Mr. Mark Erickson.
Very special guest. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. If you missed it, you can always go back and look at our past live streams. We have a playlist on our YouTube channel. If you like what you're seeing now and you want to see more, you can always click the like button. You can hit the subscribe button because it'll give you notifications whenever we're live in case we do a random Monday live stream instead of doing our regular Sunday live stream. And you can always comment because we love talking to the tainted. Speaking of which, who's here tonight? We, of course, had Rob Claxton show up first, long before it started. Hey, Rob, how are you? We'd love to see an update on your botanical garden. Your chonkified botanical gardens. Brick Orphanage is here. Also, MG. Do we know MG?
MG's been in a few times.
MG has. Okay, apologies.
Getting a chow. I don't know if MG has commented as much as some of our tainted ones, but
also wondering, are they
welcome back?
Perfect. Brick Orphanage says, driving home from the Mad City train show. So you won't have to put up with my comments. Yeah, please drive carefully. Hopefully we won't be distracting you from the road. Thanks for watching us, even though you're driving. Ron Smith is here. Big Nate Bricks is back. Hey, Nate, how are you? Good to see everyone here. Hey, Ben, what's our run of show look like for tonight?
Well, that's a good question.
It's a great question.
We've got the letter G this week.
I like that letter.
Yes, so we're going to talk grand birthday. That's a topic all for you.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk all about that.
We'll talk about some gnarly mocks. It's Girl Scout cookie season.
We'll
talk about that. We'll talk about some goodies I've picked up recently, one in particular, and then we'll round out with some Lego news where we're going to talk about the Grumpy Gnomes set. I think that's what it's called. I don't know.
Grumpy Gnomes, I'm pretty sure, is correct.
I think so too. So we'll get to all that.
Snow White and the 7 Grumpy Gnomes. Yeah.
Grumpy Gnomes. Yes.
I remember it. I remember it well. Saw it when I was a kid.
One of the gnomes is definitely named Grumpy. I know that. I think they're all a little grumpy, but one's the most grumpy, I think.
Yeah. Well, in homonym-wise, gnome doesn't make a G sound.
That's why it's an even better letter for today.
Yeah, I agree.
It sneaks up on you, which is why it's fun.
Ralph Nader, alternate candidate is here. Hello, alternate candidate. Good to see you again.
Hello, everyone.
So did you get some building done this week? Because I did not, but I have a couple things to share of the building that I would say, all right, I take that back. I did get building done, but it was a lot of wheel spinning. There's a lot of aggravation. I'm sure everyone knows what this is about. So I'm going to show what I was able to do, but know that it took hours to get to where I got, and it looks like nothing is done. Also, I'm going to share some stuff that I did in studio this week.
Okay.
Which was part of the thumbnail teaser was my studio work. And since I'm kind of a mess over here, I think it'd be better for the brand if you started tonight, sir.
Well, we will do that after we talk about the grand birthday. So why don't you inform us about what happened for grand birthday?
All right, so let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Matt's 50th birthday is this year. It's 9 days from now. It's February 27th. Am I doing my math right? Yep, 9 days. And he is notorious for not knowing what he wants to do for his birthday till like the last minute. And so then we'll invite whoever can actually make it, which is usually not a ton of people. but that's fine for Matt because he's an extroverted introvert, and he starts with the introvert first. And so he prefers a smaller crowd. And so since I knew he wasn't going to make any decisions, I planned a surprise party for him. And the idea was to get him out of the house and then bring in catering from one of his favorite spots here in Chicago, which is called Manny's Deli, and decorate the house because that's the one thing he actually asked for. We were watching The Crown, and it was what's her name? Camilla's 50th birthday, and there was like, you know, lights and balloons and a tent and kind of a carnival as well. Matt was like, "Well, do that for me," and I was like, "We have all these columns in our house because they're load bearing, not because we're fancy. They're just that's just how they gutted our house." And I was just like, I could wrap those in lights and attach silver balloons to them, no problem. So I was kind of excited about that. And then we were struck with a major family tragedy. Very important member of family, Matt's family, died suddenly out of nowhere. And that was the week before the surprise party. And so I was like, I'm canceling this because he's going to be, he's not going to be in the mood to see people. So when I got down to St. Louis, once we knew when the services were going to be, we're driving and we went out to get food because it took me all day to get there because I left during rush hour. Matt and I went and picked up food. We're driving home and he's like, "Oh, I keep forgetting to tell you. One of my high school friends is coming to town. We're going to Second City, which is a sketch comedy show Chicago is famous for. Most of the actors you know from Saturday Night Live got their start at Second City. And it's one of Matt's favorite things to do." And he's like, "And so we're going to go to Second City on the 17th. And I was like, "Okay, cool." What? So instead of canceling, I was like, all right, let's get everybody involved in the Second City thing. We'll surprise them at dinner beforehand, and then we'll all go to Second City together. And then 2 days before the surprise party, I was faking making 50th birthday plans with Matt because just trying to get him like happy again, like trying to get him up thinking about something. And he's like, "I just really don't want to be around people right now." And I was like, "Oh, God." You want to be surprised by a giant group of people? And so I was just, and he's just like, "But as long as the people are like people who understand that, like, they can sit around and just be, and it's not going to be like a thing, and people aren't going to be like, 'Oh, sorry for your loss,' and just let me celebrate my 50th birthday." That's the easier thing. So we were going to go to Manny's Deli on the Saturday before his birthday, just for like a couple hours. And I knew I rented a party room. I didn't pay anything for it. One of our friends works for a high rise in the city, and the top floor is the party room. And he's like, "Hey, I'm in charge of booking it, so I'll just book it out for you, and it's no cost because I'm an employee. I can book it out for whatever I want to." And I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." So we're on the 44th floor. We had a view of the skyline, and so basically, yesterday was finally like the day we did it, got it all together. 7 people called out at the last minute because they had like different plans, and they happened to be all people that met through me. And so I was kind of like, all right, that's probably a really good thing. And it's all people Matt mostly knows first and are, part of his life and understand everything that's going on and can let him just be. So we ended up with 13 people instead of 20. And so we had a lot of food left over. And I almost gave it away at the last minute just because I was so stressed out and so lazy that when it came down to like getting him to the place where we went, his friend from out of town said that the room I had rented in this condo building was this Airbnb. And so Matt was like, "Hey, I'm almost there. Come meet me." And I was already there. And so we have Life 360 on our phones, and so we can see where we are at all times. And I turned location services off, and just in case he checked to see where I was at, and he was at the place where he had yet to give me the address to meet his friend at from high school that I had given his friend that he had given back to Matt to say, "This is where my Airbnb was." So he's like, "Hey, I'll send you that address. I'll send you that address." I'm like, "I know the address. Just send it to me so that I can talk to you about knowing it." But I got a little lazy. And instead of leaving the condo and like putting my coat on and like walking down the block and coming to meet them up, I just sat in the lobby with his friend and was like, "Oh, look who I ran into." Matt was like, "How'd you get here so fast?" And I was like, "I was right down the street." Like I sent him text, like, "I'm going to Old Town with friends of mine to have a drink before dinner." And he was just like, he's like, still, like, you got there so fast. But so he was starting to question as we were going. That was the first indication he got that there was a surprise party happening, is as we were going up in the elevator. And then we went to the top floor. Matt knows enough about Chicago buildings that the top floor is usually like the gym and like the public area and the party room. And he heard voices. And so, but it pulled off great. And we didn't want to jump out and surprise him anyway. So like kind of easing him into the surprise turned out to be the best way to do it. We went to Second City, had a great time. It was a hilarious show. And that was it. That was Matt's 50th birthday. We've got 2 other things planned to do with different groups of people over the next 2 weekends. But at least I don't have to plan all of that secretly over weeks and have, well, knock on wood, another family tragedy in there to like throw off everything and kind of try to figure stuff out. So that's basically a lot of what my week entailed. Not being on the road anymore, like being done with vacation, being back from St. Louis, from the funeral services and everything, I was able to kind of get back to normal and start building again. But as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced, when you finally take the time to start building, you get a lot of like fits and starts. And there's a lot of things that you're like, I've got all these ideas, now I'm going to get to them, and then the ideas don't work. And then you sit there working for several hours on one small part of your build, and you're like, I just want to move on to all these other ideas you had. Then you finally get that one out of the way, move on to the next one. It's the same thing. We're like, oh, that didn't work at all. Worked in my head,
Yep.
but didn't work in real bricks. That was my week for building. And just to get started, because I moved the orchard back to my table, it took half a day just to clean the table off.
Yeah, if you resort while you're putting stuff away.
That's what I was doing, trying to be responsible.
You've got to do it now, or you've got to do it later. I would say that what you've described does qualify as a grand birthday. So
Yeah.
half a grand, a silver birthday coming up for Matt.
Yeah.
And you had a grand old party for him. So that was spectacular.
And it only took me 5 minutes of rambling nonstop to tell you about it.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
I'm like, are we losing viewers in real time as I'm trying to tell the story of Matt's surprise party?
No.
Woo! Surprise! Look, balloons.
Nice.
I haven't built a balloon arch in 90 minutes.
Is that impressive? How long does it normally take?
They were worried it was going to take us 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, 90 minutes then is not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, but I bought an arch that you can't walk through. It was only like 3 feet tall. It was like up against the wall and put a 50 underneath it. Big Nate Bricks back in, before I started rambling about that 8 minutes ago, so that silent G's are deadly. And he also says, what was Mark's point? Yeah, I don't even know.
That he built a balloon arch in 90 minutes so you could play croquet through it or something. I don't know. I don't know what his point was, but balloon arch. It qualifies as part of a grand birthday. If you don't have a balloon arch, is it really a grand birthday?
No.
Probably not, right?
I also like put up a bunch of pictures of him from his childhood. We had a Matt birthday quiz, like how well do you know Matt, stuff like that. Lego Team B is here. So extra viewer checking in. G'day, Tainted Crew. Lego Team B, of course, from Minneapolis. I'm just kidding. That's Brick Orphanage. You are from Australia. Nate says, nah, I wish my friends put some effort into my birthdays. Oh, that's my husband. So if your friends put that much effort in, those are really good friends. They put a ton of effort into that. Although Matt's friends stepped up like crazy, like his friend who got us a giant party room for free, And
whoever secured the balloon arch.
Really good friend. I bought it for $35.
Oh, there you go. Did you know it was 2.5 feet tall when you bought it, or
yeah,
was that a surprise? Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was like it's less of an arch than something where you create like different shapes out of. So it's like it's not just an arch; it's something that's flexible. So you can create like flowy sort of things.
You could have made a balloon snake, or
I forgot to put the
puppy.
I forgot to put the weight on the first part of it, and it fell over at one point off the table we had it onto an aloe plant. I was like, I didn't even notice the aloe plant. But what a perfect spot to put it so that when someone knocks it over, it falls over and then pops 3 balloons. It's the perfect angle for these 3 aloe leaves to pop the balloons. It was fun.
Little aloe leaves. Okay,
yep,
well, there we go. So grand birthday.
If you get nothing else out of this live stream tonight, remember this: if you create a balloon arch or any sort of balloon decoration, don't put it next to an aloe plant.
Or if you do, walk around it cautiously. Don't pull a mark. Let's move on to gnarly. Does start with a G. Mox. We went with 2 silent G's this week.
Another
Gnarly and
silent G.
gnome. But of course, on Think
Yeah,
Outside the Blocks, this is what we like to talk about. It's our bread and butter. We'll
that's
get
right.
into the Lego news and some other nonsense afterwards. But we can check out what I've been building this week. We'll add it to the stage and solo it so we can see some of the improvements
Oh, wow.
that I've done.
Check that out.
We can pull this back a little bit here.
Nice.
Some of the improvements that we've done on the cockpit. I only have enough of these arch pieces for one side, so right now the other side is missing them. But I got through that. I bulked up sort of the spot where the weapon arrays will be located.
Yeah.
And now we're working on getting ready to greeble and complete this side. I'm also adding a kind of a secondary cockpit up top here, as well as something in the back. One of the things, we talked about was whether or not this was going to end up being too narrow for the entire build.
Let's see what we think. In the meantime, Lego History Sam is here. He says, hey to everyone. He asked me, how much is Brickworld Chicago? Because he's thinking about going there this year. Well, I'm glad you asked that because all the information is on brickworld.com. And, funny enough, I don't know offhand. I just run the business. I don't know the details. But if you go to the brickworld.com website, and let me show you how to find this real quick while Ben's trying to put his chunkified spider mech together. Chunkified not only from a smaller mech to a bigger mech, but also chunkified from an insect to an arachnid.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Where am I at? Home Brickworld, and now I'm sharing this stuff with you guys. Let's see. Make sure everybody can see this fully. If you go to brickworld.com, you go over to convention, you go to general information, it'll explain to you not only how to register, but give you all the prices and all that fun stuff. Is that true? Am I telling a lie? It might be. Oh, no, look, there we go. Badge costs. Down on this table here at the bottom, sale price through March 31st, 2024. It's $100 for a full week badge. If you just want to come on the weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, including all the non-public events, it's $60. After March 31st, so on April 1st, it'll go up to $135 for the full week and then $70 just for the weekend. And if you've come to Brickworld Chicago before, you will know that up in the corner of our website, we used to have a little account button where you go to my page, and that's where you do your registration. Well, guess what? We don't do it that way anymore. We have started using a company called Cvent, and somewhere around here is a link. Oh, look, I even made videos on how to do it. Here's a tutorial video here. Here is a purchase a Brickworld registration tutorial video and a purchase your Brickworld Chicago badges tutorial. And if you have any trouble at all, please contact us. We will help you out right away. And let me see again. We're actually in the middle. Just forgive me for not knowing how this works right now. We are actually in the middle of redesigning this website. So that is why I look at this and go, wait, where was this again? Because I've been concentrating so much on the new website that I don't know so much about this website anymore. So, hey, look at me. I'm not a complete idiot. It's just there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So here we've got an idea of sort of the size of it.
Woo! Nate's coming. He's got a full table too. Glad you're coming, Nate.
So I don't think that the length is bad. I think it's actually pretty good.
You're welcome, Lego History Man. Or Lego History Sam. Sorry, I can't read. I think the length is really good.
Yeah, I think the width is maybe not as bad as I thought it was, though.
Yeah.
I do think it needs to be bulked up a little back here, which I'm sort of planning to do now that I have this rear-facing cockpit. I might add some sort of rear-facing artillery or something in the back. We talked about, a purpose for this mech in particular, and something like that might make a lot of sense.
Were you planning on going back that far, or did some idiot say like a real spider's head is bulbous in the back, and then now you're doing that because some jerk told you that?
No, I think balance-wise, when I designed this up front here, it doesn't quite reach the very front of the mock. It's pretty close, but I wanted to stick out the back a little bit.
Aha, it's physics.
because there's going to be some other things up front here. So weight-wise, you can see it's kind of a little flimsy. I only have 2 of the pins in. But I did want it to balance out a little better. So I'm probably going to have to make it a little bigger in the back, since the cockpit and the weapon arrays will be here in the front and right in the middle. So we need a little bit of something, since it's mostly just hollow back here right now.
Yeah, right now that pilot's going to need his Dramamine or her Dramamine to get.
So
Yep. We have Yellow Xenophone saying, "Whoa, that's an epic walker." Yes, it is. It's chunkified.
chonkified. Here's the
This one-
non-chonkified version back here, falling apart.
The non-chunkified was pretty epic itself. Now, is it falling apart because it's being cannibalized, Ben?
You know, I did take one leg off. I think the big problem is the base I have it sitting on. We did this rounded base for one of the other chonkified mechs that I'm going to use for something else, but it doesn't really fit on the modified base, so the legs keep falling off the edge of it, and it kind of collapses. But it is missing one leg, so it's a 5-legged insect right now instead of 6.
Ben, do we have a banner for bad news alert? Because Rob Claxton is only 50-50 on Brickworld this year, depending on if he gets a new job. He has an interview Tuesday, hoping on coming this year. Well, I want you to get this new job so you can come this year, because it would just not be the same without you.
I think we'd basically have to cancel Brickworld if that was the case, right?
Seriously.
Weekend, do something.
It's on the tip of my brain. What is his wife's name? She has a unique name. We need both of you there, because it won't be Brickworld without you. So best of luck job hunting, friend. Really, really hope that comes through for you for many reasons. I know Lego History Sam is even like, no, I agree. Do not want.
This webcam also seems a little choppy, but I think I know why, so I'll fix that before our next stream.
I haven't noticed. Yeah.
I'll see. Put my hand in there. Is it kind of?
Oh, I see. It's a little stop motion.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. I rebuilt the computer that this is operating on, and I added. This is really, really nerdy, but for anyone out there, I added a USB 3 hub, and my camera is plugged into what is now an internal hub. So I think it's struggling with that. I'm guessing if I plug it into the back, it'll work great. But we're not concerned about that right now. We're concerned about chonkifying a mech. So
gotcha.
As long as we're staying still, it should be okay. So there we go.
Lego Team B encouraging Rob Claxton for his interview. Charlie Kaufman, unfortunately, will not be able to make it to Brickworld Chicago this year. You will be sorely missed. Again, it's the same story here, Charlie Kaufman. We go all the way back to the info desk during the virtual shows. I'm going to miss you this year, my friend. It won't be the same Brickworld without you. It does suck, sir, that you will not be able to make it. I hope things change, but if not, no pressure. No pressure, of course.
Hopefully we'll be able to do some, of course I want everybody there. Want to meet the Tainted, everything else, but hopefully we'll be able to do a few web series things or some streaming or something.
Yeah.
For people who can't make it. And of course, the show the week after Brickworld Chicago, I'm sure will be epic, much as it was last year.
Well, without a doubt.
So
without a doubt, Jesse's Brick G for Galaxy is here, and he will be at Brickworld Chicago this year. That's good. We got to have Jesse on again sometime soon, because I believe he's been making some official announcements about his new building standard, and we want to get him on here to update us on everything that he's been doing lately, because it looks like some exciting stuff has been happening on his stream.
Yeah, I actually popped on to Friday Night Bricks this week. To give Reed a little bit of guff, G for guff, while Jesse was getting set up for D&D. So a little unexpected popover on the Friday Night Brick stream to tell Reed that, of course, Castle was the worst, and that I was planning a full-scale invasion of Hope Castle for Brickworld Chicago. So you don't want to miss that.
Nice.
If you can make it there.
Yeah, I would love that. Is it going to be the Spider Mech?
I can't decide if I'm going to do a traditional raid or if it's going to be space or mech. Who knows? I got to come up with something, though, because he's fully expecting it, and I want to make it, 5 times worse than he's anticipating. So,
well, if you need a Fabuland faction in there, I am more than willing to help out. I can do all Fabuland bears.
Yeah, you never know. That might be the case. They'll probably look like little giants.
Lego History Sam hopes to bring his entire fleet to Brickworld Chicago this year. I really hope to see that. Charlie Kaufman will be at Brickworld Grand Rapids this year, and that show definitely can't proceed without him because he helped us so much last year. I think he officially worked the front door all weekend. Hope Castle is here. He's on to us. Anti-Castle Raiders, says Jesse. And Hope Castle says, it will sink in the swamp.
Not if it flies, Hope Castle. Not if it flies.
Flighters. Spiders can fly through a process called ballooning with their little silk sacs.
Obviously. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
I'll be coming to you also, Z, Two-Way Street.
Oh,
Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay, so this is where we are.
that's nice.
I think the main, sort of encouragement you gave me was just build it already. So I think it's progressing nicely, but we've got a little bit more to go, and then I can move on to my next project, which we'll talk about a little when we get to the goodies segment.
I mean, you could have said that to me last week, and it wouldn't have made any difference because I just couldn't get going forward on anything. So I'm glad that advice helped.
It did. There was a lot of spinning my wheels, like you talked about.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've just gotta say, okay, I know what I want it to look like, but until I build it and see if my initial idea is going to work or how it looks, I'm not getting anywhere. So a little bit of it was just kind of, get past the fear of it not looking perfect and start something so that you can figure out what you need to tweak.
Before we talk about a full-time management, Rob Claxton reminds me that I just confused him with Michael Fujiwara, whose wife has a unique name, and Rob Claxton is actually not married. So his wife does not have a unique name because she does not exist yet. Or she does, he just hasn't met her.
Yes, she might have a very unique name.
Right. So a full-time management, it's kind of like, I think it's one of the most frustrating things that we put up with is like finding the time to build. And then when you get that couple hours or you get this or you get that, however many it may be, and you just can't progress forward because you're either things aren't working out or you're just, like we said, spinning your wheels or being too picky with yourself. And like sometimes that advice I gave you last time was like, just build it. And if you don't like it, adjust it, but just get something built. And it's what I was trying to do this week was, I'll show you in a minute. It was kind of like, I can't just build it because it will definitely look like crap. And so like when you put it on the details, that's the time when you're like, okay, I know I'm trying something unique. I'm trying something different, something I never tried before. I want this to work. I haven't seen a lot of people do it. And that's when you get stuck with maybe very little progress, but at least in the long run, you got rid of ideas that didn't work that you don't have to try again next time. You're able to carve out a couple hours. Hope Castle might have to skip Brickworld Milwaukee to build defenses for Chicago. Or we can have a little practice round at Brickworld Milwaukee because Ben will be there, and so will I. So we can have a little preview of what might happen at Brickworld Chicago at Brickworld Milwaukee. Alternate candidate says, spinning my wheels is what I am best at with Lego. Lego Team B says, such a great tip. Do something. Well, crack mock paralysis. I like that. Mock paralysis. We need a banner for that. Mock paralysis. Because my problem is I start so many and don't finish them that I look at them all and go, which one am I going to work on this week? Which one am I going to give up on? I almost started a new one this week. And I'm like, I have not finished anything in months. I suffer from mock paralysis. That is great. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. You're very good at StreamYard. I am not. It's always up to me. It sure is. Ben, oddly enough, I ran to the bathroom right before we started, and somehow I have to go already. So
that's wonderful. That's cool.
BPH, baby. So if you don't mind talking for a couple minutes, I will be right back.
That sounds great.
Bye, Ben.
Of course, when Mark says BPH, I'm not sure if he's talking about me or his issue there because they both have the same initials. Anyway, so what I've got, the main thing that I need here, there's been a couple of issues that I'm running into with the walker. One of them in particular is the legs on the side The legs themselves are plenty strong. The connection point that's weak right now is where the rotating piece here enters into the body. I could put them straight in and alleviate a little bit of that, but I like having the ability to sort of flex and move the legs. So right now it seems to be holding together pretty well. And I think it will, as long as I don't move it, stand up great on a base for a show. So I might have to do a little bit of tweaking there, but for the most part, it's pretty stable on the legs. And as long as the weight on the head doesn't get too bad, I think it will work out. I also need to finish some sort of collar down here on the neck. I could or should probably lower this one stud hole here. I guess I couldn't say brick because they're on their sides as a snot technique here. So it's more like one stud being lowered, one stud, so 2.5 plates lower. I could do that, but I think building a collar might be better given the size and making sure that I can clear the tops of the legs as they sort of stick up here. So that's kind of the punch list to finish the head. And then I'm definitely going to have to make a bricklink order of some variety to get these extra arch pieces for the other side, and then a bunch of pieces to finish the legs. You can see there are some gaps from some fairly uncommon pieces that I'm going to have to pick up on Bricklink that have only appeared in a couple of sets. They are available for a reasonable amount of money. I just haven't put in the orders yet because I'm going to have to probably order them from a couple different shops instead of all from one. That's kind of the unfortunate side about occasionally using a rare piece that isn't necessarily popular, but it still might be difficult to get, and then you end up having to put in 2 or 3 or 4 Bricklink orders just to get the piece or pieces that you need.
You're referring to that arch piece?
Yeah, that arch piece is one, and then there's a 3x3 red roof piece that appeared in the Harry Potter burrow that I was using for this part of the leg, which I don't have. So there'll be a couple of small Bricklink orders to get the parts, but it shouldn't be too bad. I probably am going to end up having to buy them from 2 different stores, though, which sometimes gets annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
So
one of the things I did this week is I was considering the new mock I wanted to build was ordered a bunch of turquoise parts so that I could build that and then scrap the idea of building it. Now I've got $100 in turquoise parts coming that I just get to stare at until I find it's responsible to use that time. I do like it looks rather artistic, kind of the pile of the sea of dark red parts around the old insectoid mech there. It looks purposeful. It looks like he did it to kind of like brand the build. Like
if only.
Build, friend.
If only.
Yeah, that's what I had on my table was just like a bunch of random parts. I found I was being responsible, sorting, and I was like, you know what? Grab a freezer bag, just swipe the table clean. I've gone back to that freezer bag so many times as I was trying to build because I'm like, I know I put these parts in the freezer bag.
Yep. Yeah, that'll happen. You know, there are some parts I fished out like this part, which is a great newer part that I ended up not using.
Oh, so yeah.
I'll have to put these back before I move on so I don't lose some of this stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen that part in person. Did you pull up any comments while I was gone?
There weren't a ton of them, so I did not yet.
So we got one from Hope Castle says, hold that thought. The calm before the storm will welcome Z's troopers at the Roaring Roller Disco for music and roller skating.
Okay.
Sure,
they'll skate.
Something we see at Brickworld Milwaukee, perhaps, is what he's referring to.
Could be.
Hope so.
I'll attack the roller disco, though. Don't worry.
Nate asked, do I run Brickworld Indie? So I run all of the Brickworld shows. So yes. I was thinking of popping up to that show. Do you want to display? Because send me a message on Discord and we'll get you in the channel, or send actually David Turner a message on Discord. We'll get you in the channel if you want to bring a display to Brickworld Indie. Depending on the size, we should be able to get you in. We're still working on the display map for that show, so it's a good time to get in if you want to be part of the actual show. If you just want to drive up and see the show, send me a message on Discord. I'll either get you a good coupon code so you're not paying full price, because our prices went up this year. I'm not happy about it, but we had to. Friday Night Bricks.
That would be Reed again, I believe. Probably switching from mobile to the computer.
I was like, So
yes.
finally got the show. We're going to, oh, there we go. Attacking the Z from multiple fronts. Yeah, okay, thank you. And then Yellow Xenophone says, no way you guys have a freezer brick bag too. That's then the problem is because I'm still like putting the basement back together. This is going to happen for the rest of my fucking life. Oh, whoops. Sorry, everybody. Sorry if anyone brought their family to the show tonight. I'm just dropping F-bombs. It's starting to become a habit of me grabbing a freezer bag and throwing random parts into it. It's because I'm out of sorting bins to do that with. And so now it's like, yeah, it's kind of like it's like there's a plague of freezer bags full of random parts. And I kind of, what's weird is I know what parts are in which ones. I'm like, oh, I need to grab that one. I have them sitting in order under this desk over here. Ron Smith is here. He says, looking forward to my first Brickworld in June displaying there. Well, we're looking forward to having you there for your first time and seeing what you're displaying, sir. Hope you have a great time. I've heard it's a great time. I like it. Lego History Sam says, do you know how to get brick badges with your name on it? Yes. So when you go through the, that's part of the video tutorial on brickworld.com on that page that I showed you. But you don't need to watch the tutorial because it's one of the options that you get as you go through the registration process. There'll be a checkbox like I want an engraved brick badge, and then you fill out the 3 bricks. Now, typically, we have a picture that shows the example. Typically, the first brick is your first name. Second brick is your last name, and the third brick is the city you come from. But you can put anything you want on that third brick. We do go through and make sure there's nothing like offensive on them. But if you want it to be like, if you want to say Lego History Sam, or if you want it to be like some other internet handle, or if you want it to be like your lug, or if you want it to be, whatever, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with all 3 of them, to be honest. But it's a brick badge, so people typically put first name, last name, lug, whatever, city. But yeah. It's yours. You do what you want with it, and we will hit you up if we're confused or if we think that it's something that shouldn't be displayed on one of our displayers. Hi.
I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go off camera so I can grab it quick.
All right, cool.
So I'm going to solo you because this is exactly what we're talking about. Hold on.
Perfect. And while you're going to get that, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. We have several. We have a lot of people who support us, and we just want everyone to know how much we appreciate them. Let's start with ACOB. ACOB stands for a couple of brickheads. And if you are busy, if you're not busy, I'm sorry, on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central, you can check out a couple of Brickheads live stream. They've got a lot of exciting stuff. They're doing some really cool things. They're also co-hosting Brickworld this year. They are our official live stream hosts, and they are already starting stuff. If you look down here, if you go to their live stream, you're going to see that at Brickworld Chicago this year, there's going to be a rap battle between M&R Productions and Duck Bricks at Brickworld. So if you're excited about that, if you're excited about Star Wars, definitely check them out. If you're excited about the economics of Lego buying, definitely check out ACOB. Let's work backwards here because I was on my last tab. The Bricks of Hope is someone who always supports us. They'll be at Brickworld Chicago this year. Hopefully, they've been there the last 2 years, and they collect Lego sets and give them to kids in need. It's a great little charity. So check them out online at bricksofhope.org if you have something you want to give to them now. If not, you'll be able to meet them at Brickworld. Again, hopefully, I believe they're going to be there. Dee's Bricks is someone who's been working on the Brickworld staff, but he owns his own Brickworld retail store at deesbricks.com, where you can check out great deals on Lego sets. He also has a Bricklink store. You can check out great deals on parts and minifigs. So check out Dees Bricks. He's a great supporter of Brickworld. We appreciate him a lot. We want you to appreciate him too, because he got great prices and great stock. Bricker Builds. Bricker Builds does a lot of our shows. They've got a lot of really, really cool stuff. If you are into original creations that reflect some of your favorite brands but aren't your favorite brands, check these guys out. They've got some really cool stuff. They got some really cool designs. and they are prolific in what they are bringing to the AFOL community. And if you ever see them at a show, they are a good time. They know how to get the crowd going. They know how to interact with people. And of course, our new buddy who needs some updates from me, brick shell cases. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what's a brick shell case, you say? Well, I will show you. This started with minifigure podiums. And you can see here, they've got like a 12 figure case for, CMFs. Or they've got branded ones for like the Disney CMFs. Or if you check this one out, it's the Muppet CMFs. Oh, whoops, I just added it to my cart. That's not what I meant to do. And then they've got giant cases in case you've got like an entire collection of, say, Lord of the Rings figures, like my buddy Ben has. But they also do wall mount displays with magnetic fronts. So you can mount this on your wall, pull the magnetic front off, and change your figures out. I've got one here I can show you. Perhaps we'll talk about it a little bit later. But we also have, let's see, display stands. They're starting to get into this. They just came out with one for the Millennium Falcon in case you're tired of the coffee table size set taking up a lot of space. You can display it at this angle, save yourself a little bit of room. And these are some really responsible products. I knocked mine off the desk the other day, scared the living daylights out of my poor dog. And then swore, and she hates when people swear, so she vacated altogether. But it went right back together, no scratches on any of it. It's all acrylic. You see here they have cases for specific sets. They've got cabinets for helmets. They've got cabinets for Lego Marvel Tower. They've got cabinets for Speed Champions. They've got a lot of things you could imagine. And if you want to display your Lego this way, this is the place to go. Responsibly priced, responsibly made, and huge fans of the AFOL community, big Lego fans themselves, and they just want to enhance the way we experience our hobby. So check them out. We believe in them. We hope you believe in them, and we hope you find some happy products there. And those are our sponsors. What you got there, Ben? You going to show me your badge? Oh, your mic's off, sir.
I will show you the one I originally tried to get, and might have to get my camera. This was my first attempt at a brick badge.
Where'd the U go?
Yeah, in the space between my first name and that. I never go by Benjamin, so this was clearly a mistake, and it was too many letters. So I kept it because it's
That's great.
It's history. But here's the one that I use now.
Nice.
So this is, I like the color much better too. But for example, there, put first name, initial, my handle, and then Eurobricks, who I usually build with. So that's the kind of thing that you can do on there if you want to as well. So
while Ben has put some magnets on a different variation of the badge itself, the Brickworld logo appears next to the next to your name, and then there's a 1x8 brick that goes across the bottom. Do I have one? I don't. I should. I should have a picture of one easily accessible. I know I have one somewhere, but it would take me a while. There we go. Look at that. That's the old logo, man. But
the old logo, yes, but that's the one I have. Oh.
Okay, we need to work on your
there
brand.
We go. Yeah, I might need to get a new one. I'll have to contact the owner, see if I can get a new one.
Yeah.
So there's sort of the old version of how it stacks up.
Hey, look at this. Nate does it the same way you do. He does name, handle, and then lug. Nate also says there's going to be a streaming area this year in Chicago. You know what? There is. We're working on it right now. We've got a meeting tomorrow night to figure out exactly where it's going to be, exactly what's going to entail. It's going to be in the corner or the center or in an auxiliary room. But there is going to be a place where all the streamers can get together, do interviews, run live streams, and have a nice backdrop, and have a place that we can do meet and greets and sign autographs and stuff like that. Yes, the pandemic really kind of blew up the AFOL community in a different way, that it added a branch. So we've got different types of adult fans now that don't necessarily build original creations, but are just fans of what we do. And then there are fans that are collectors that have put in a lot of research on how to collect and like the way to get the best prices. And there's also people who are just out there like researching breaking Lego news. And the influencers cannot be ignored, and they love Lego as much as we do. So we're trying to make them a big part of Brickworld Chicago. And so we are going to have an influencer alley this year, we're going to call it, but it's not going to be like an alley in the traditional sense where it runs the entire length or width of the hall, because we need that room for display space, of course. But the influencers that we know, the content creators, as they call themselves respectfully, are really on board with it. They really support the show, and they want to be a part of it, and they want people to know why they like it and why they want to come. And so we are giving them that platform, of course. And we're really excited about having them there. Hope you guys are too. Lego History Sam is very excited about M&R being there. Rob Claxton says the Avatar Last Bender build that Bricker Builds did and revealed at Brickworld Chicago last year was at the Atlanta BrickCon this past weekend. Yeah, it's cool stuff, isn't it? The stuff they do is excellent. And then I don't know where we got this, but Nate says Brick Nerd. Hell yeah, Brick Nerd.
Dave's been at Brickworld Chicago. He'll probably be there
Dave.
again this
Oh,
year.
yeah, of course. Yes. Okay, sorry.
Yep. So I would expect or suspect he might be there. Who knows?
Synapses don't expire correctly, so sorry.
None of the influencers will actually be there during public hours. Put them out in the hall. Well, that's not entirely true. I'll be there if I'm considered. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And
For sure.
They very much want to be there with the public. I mean, that's like we had long lines for people to meet M&R last year, who I recently stopped calling Mander because I didn't hear it out loud. I just read it for a long time, and I was like, "Oh, Mander."
He's
like, but
yeah.
like
Yeah,
he's
the R in M and R. For a very brief period of times, there were both an M and an R, but it's just been him forever.
So right?
He just sticks with M and R, but it's really just R at this point.
Initially, they had asked for like a space off the floor where they could like kind of control the sound a little bit more, and then they could like connect with people streaming from the floor when they needed to, and that's kind of evolving. So I think they will be on the floor, but I don't know for sure because we're still developing the entire idea. So and ACOP is our first official content creator co-host that Brickworld's ever had. So we're kind of still ironing out exactly how this works, and their energy is so high and their passion for it is so great that I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I just don't have any details to give you quite yet, and I should probably let the hosts themselves provide that when they're ready for it. So I'll follow them up.
Yeah, let's not scoop their stream. Let's let them announce what they need to announce when they need to announce it.
They're on Thursday. We're on Sunday. We'll let them do it on Thursday, and then we'll follow up on Sunday and let everyone know exactly what they said. Yeah. If you don't watch it yourself, which I think you should, because ACOP is a lot of fun. Oh, Reed's leaving. Bye, Reed. Reed, another content creator.
Yeah.
See you later. Do you want to look at the crap that I've done this week?
That's up to you. We're at about an hour, 48 minutes, so we do have about 10 minutes before we move on to
Lego
other fun things, including the Grumpy Gnome. So, yeah, I think we can take a look at whatever you've got. I know you said you have something in Studio I/O for us to look at.
Yeah, I sure do.
All right.
Studio I/O is a fun way to say it. It's either Studio or Stud I/O, I believe. But you do you.
Yeah, Stud I/O. There you go.
All right, so here we go. This is in the center here. You see this year's Brickworld exclusive set, vaguely this area here, and then this is me trying to create the 2024 artwork because I'm always like, I'll just do it in studio, and then it takes me weeks. Well, it takes me days usually, but when it comes to all the other stuff that I've been dealing with our unfortunate family tragedy last week, and then the surprise party, and then being sick and blah blah blah, life always happens. This has not been moving as fast as I'd like it to, but once I get it to a certain point, there's a lot I can copy and paste and then cover with foliage. But basically, what I'm doing here, and this is where a lot of my build time went this week, was trying to create the artwork for the program, for t-shirts, for advertisements, XYZ, for Brickworld Chicago this year. Now, the theme is let's go exploring. And so that's why the event set is these jungle ruins. And now I've expanded the jungle ruins, and I'm trying to put them in a jungle, and that's where It's just tedious. You see over here on the right all the exclamation points because I'm using a bunch of pieces that don't exist, including most of these pieces in dark tan. The dark tan's been around for a long time, and it's very disappointing to me how many pieces they don't create in that color, or like how few pieces there are available in that color. But this is basically where I'm at with it. This isn't too exciting. It's not going to be built in real life, so I don't know exactly what I'm asking for on this. But if we're talking about what we've been building this week, this has been it. I think if there's other people on here who do any sort of like commission work, or end up having to like Ben and I do have to build a collaborative build for a lug. Sometimes building feels like work, and so it's a little bit less exciting than if you're building something that you really wanted to build, or like you wanted to, take your time with. This has a deadline of like 3 weeks ago. So I'm really just trying to when I do sit down with it, I just shove pieces on it. Like you can see, I just threw the river in there. I'm like, there's going to be a river there. I'll figure out the shape of it later. There's the, the transparent burps back there that I'll eventually turn into a waterfall. And once those things are there, and then you can see back here, I've got these little dinosaur tails. That's because I use it quite a bit, and they're hard to put together. And Studio has trouble once you change the angles of them at all, having them connect together. So I'm like, this is the basic shape I usually go for, but at least they're connected, so I can change it however I want. I leave it there so I can copy and paste it. Eventually, what we're going to do is copy this probably in a darker color, maybe mix in some green behind these ruins and let them go up and out of focus, basically off into the background, have the waterfall coming down here. And then in the foreground, I don't know exactly how I'll do it yet. I'll probably have to render a couple things. I'm gonna have a little suspension bridge with minifigures on it, looking off into the jungle. And this is how I'm working so far. This is basically the angle that the rendering will happen at. So I don't know if there's anything you can comment on here, anything you want to comment on. One thing I can show you is that since it's studio and I'm just rendering it from one angle, the back is a hideous bitch. Like this, there's no way this thing would stand on its own. I always start kind of worrying about that. Like, I'm like, oh, that piece doesn't exist. Let me choose a new one. I'm like, stop, stop doing that. Or like creating seams so that so that everything will, stay together correctly, making sure that I'm not just stacking bricks. And then at some point I'm just like, stack the bricks, copy them, paste them. No one's going to be able to see the seams from the rendering when it comes to having the artwork all together and the logo over it and the theme name somewhere as well. So that's what I'm doing. Ben, what do you think?
It's very different to design in that way because you're using the blocks in this case as a pure artistic medium.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people will give you that whole I'm a Lego artist thing, and that's great. They can say that. I like to say I'm more of a builder. But here it's more so art because they don't need to physically work. They just need to make the shape that you want.
Yes.
Existing elements, whether they're realistic or not.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. I don't know, since I've never done a design for a shirt, how much detail you need before it kind of gets lost in whatever the
Mm-hmm.
printing is, and how many
Yeah.
colors you're
Yeah.
allowed to have, and
Yeah.
all these interesting restrictions that you have to use when you're building something like this.
Yeah. And we typically do a generic spot transfer, so that I don't have to pull CMYK numbers or Panto numbers from it because it would be insane. So it's a little bit of a different process. And some of my earlier designs were a little bit more simple, but since like when we do our program printing, and this is the cover of the program, it looks real nice. I can do whatever I want to do. We can do posters, we can do whatever with it. And the t-shirt doesn't necessarily sell quite as well as people just liking to see it mostly as a graphic or as part of the program. So I'm a little less concerned about the printing of the t-shirt, and we do have a process that will take care of it without me having to pull the colors, like I said. But like it's been a couple of years since we've had a t-shirt available because I can't get the artwork done in time. So I'm trying to get it done, because Brickshell Cases wants to do something with us with the artwork. Yes. We don't know what yet. They want to do something. We're not saying what. We're not saying anything, but that's one of the people that needs to get it too. Perhaps I should not have said that. I'm like, I forget I'm not on a phone call. I'm on a live stream. But that's pretend you didn't hear that. And then the just basically having it out there, having it out of the way. And then I have to do another studio project this week. I have to make the event support order with Lego. So I've got to get the 2025 exclusive sets designs. And so I'm going to be sitting at studio a lot this week. Plus, I have accounting and venue management and show production stuff to do. So it's going to be a lot of sleepless nights this week for me.
A lot of businessing, it sounds
A lot of businessing. I'm so sick of businessing. There was some commercial I saw the other day. I think it was for QuickBooks, and QuickBooks used business as a verb, and I was like, hey, that's my thing. I'm the one who does that.
Look at that! I found the right button. It only took 3 attempts.
Yeah, good job, man.
I don't know that why one of these buttons you didn't appear at all. That was strange to me.
That was weird, and it was like, and you were on half the screen, and the my studio screen was hanging over your face.
I think it was this one and this one.
That one's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that, but this is the one I wanted. Jesse just got his hotel room. Jesse, you're behind the 8 ball, my friend, but I'm glad you got one.
What nights did you get a hotel room for? Because someone was telling me that Thursday night was sold out. Oof. And I forgot to follow up because I was really busy this week. It was actually Abe from Brickshell Cases. And Wednesday's been sold out for a while. So please let me know in the comments what nights you got your hotel booked for. And perhaps maybe you were staying off site because you couldn't get the nights you wanted. Let's see. Got to get to the kids to bed. So he's catching us in Chicago. Good night, Nate. And then Rob Claxton says he did a collaborative build for the lug he's a member of for Atlanta BrickCon. South Carolina Brick Lug got the best lug layout out of 5 to 10 lugs that were there. So is he South Carolina Brick Lug or not? I don't know. Did you win, Rob? I can't tell from that.
Sounds like yes.
Wyndham Gardens is a great alternative to the hotel because it's right across the pond, like the literal pond that's outside the parking lot. Like you just walk around the pond, then your hotel is there. It's basically like staying at the hotel. And Rob Claxton, if that does mean you won, then congratulations. That's amazing. Do you have pictures to share? Put them up on Discord. I'll share them. So here's the other thing I worked on this week. So let's get this studio mess out of there. Share screen. And I'm going to show you, where am I at here? Studio screen 1, screen 3. Why don't, oh, here it is. So I've been building a lot in Animal Crossing over the last few months and doing the YouTube videos. It's been a while since I put up a video for Animal Crossing because I've been so busy with other things. And it's definitely on the back burner right now. But this is kind of a preview of one of the rebuilds that I'm doing is I'm rebuilding the orchard. And I realized this week as I was going through the video and just renaming it so I would know what the video was, as I was doing the orchard redesign, I was like, this is so close to what I'm doing with the Fabuland orchard. Down to the staircase jutting in the back. You can see it kind of, see, I don't know if you can see it back here. The staircase looks like a stone ramp. There's a staircase there, and that's what I reconfigured the back of the orchard for. So that's what I've been working on. Let me see if the camera's still on. It is still on. So that's what's on the table. Let me stop sharing this and bring up my camera. Can't find my mouse. Hold on. I have a very narrow desk, and I've got to change that. Stop sharing. Let's present from my second camera.
It would be fun sometime to show what our disastrous streaming layout looks like for the two of us.
Oh my God.
I'm slowly chipping away at upgrading it. You know, the camera's now better, and I've added a light. The camera over here is on an arm for showing mocks, but you know, we're piecing it together as we go. We are not the professionals.
Oh dear Lord, I don't think anyone should see this room. Like just the amount of like random garbage bags that are sitting around because I'm like, oh, I should clean up, and then I forget that I have one, so I go grab another one. So right now there's only 2 in here. Because I took the third one out because it was full.
I've got piles of stuff on either side of the mouse and keyboard. It is a complete disaster. You know, it's you look at my background, right? And I think you can already tell I've got junk right in my background. I've got this junk over here. I've got stuff on my building desk, all this other stuff. That pales in comparison to what the rest of the room looks like. So, if you're like, hey, that guy should clean up if he's going to be live streaming, you are right. But
Yeah.
this is the cleaned up version,
Yeah.
sadly.
It always looks clean to me. Like you've got a good angle there, at least where it like looks at least like we're partially tricked into thinking that it's a very organized room.
Well, I'll take that. Oh, I can switch.
What are you doing?
I'm good at this. I know how to do it. Look at that.
All right. So you've seen this before. You probably don't see much difference here. There was a lot of wheel spinning. You may notice that I'm using a Monica Berry's suggestion, putting these tan. So I started putting these tan ones on today, and I realized I had to take all the leaves off in order to make it successful. So I was like, forget that. I'll do that during in between work breaks this week. Sorry. Still coughing from that thing I caught on the cruise. So, I made more of these shrubs that we looked at before. I think I'm going to start putting them. This was just kind of, it fell off the table. But I'm going to put one kind of on the outside of each one of the trellises around the garden to kind of look like the orchard I've been building in Animal Crossing. But the one thing that I liked about what I have in the Animal Crossing one is the cherry blossom branches, which I use all over the place. And so I started this, and this has been so aggravating because I still don't like the way it looks. But this is the state that it's in currently, and that's the only reason I'm showing it, because I'm not happy with it. I want this to sit basically along the pool, but it's just like a smaller cherry blossom tree that's kind of like, maybe it's even like, I guess I would, no, that's too big for bonsai, but it's definitely smaller than like the cherry blossom trees that are going to be behind the orchard or behind the vineyard. And so thoughts on this tree?
It's an interesting shape.
Yes. It's a fascinating shape. It's driving me insane.
It's sort of semi-conical.
I know what I want it to look like, but it doesn't look like it yet.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're hoping that it sort of looks like an explosion, or what's sort of what is it that you think it should look like?
So one of my favorite items to use again in Animal Crossing, and perhaps perhaps I've taken this realization that they look so similar too much to heart. But like if you see there, these creations here with the cherry blossom branches, I just wanted something that just kind of had like some nice pink leaves and white flowers kind of sticking out. I originally built kind of a jar, but like when I built the jar, it was taller than the vase or whatever. The pot, there we go. It was taller than a Fabuland figure. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And so I'm trying to think of ways to make thinner branches than using like the plates that I'm using, because it's not working out. So that's kind of like, whoops, I just turned off my screen. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
I got you fixed here. So
I
think the big
original inspiration for it, but it looks goddamn nothing like it.
Yeah, I think it's because the pink leaves themselves are so much more here on that sort of the inspiration you were looking at. There's a lot more of the stick.
Yes.
And here it's very pink. And so it's kind of hard to tell that, what you were going for were several small branches or blossoms. It looks like it's supposed to be one sort of tree. But instead, it kind of looks like it's sprouting out like a cone as opposed to, branches going off to the sides.
Yeah, and so it was like, so I'm kind of like trying to find a happy medium where it's like those are pots filled with branches cut from cherry blossom trees is what the item in the game is. And this, I was just trying to make kind of like a cherry blossom bush, like maybe something that doesn't exist. You keep encouraging me to make like foliage that is not completely realistic. And so I was just like, we'll create it like a magnolia tree or a burning bush or like something like that. And the shape is just not how that works. And so I'm not sure how I've gotten so lost.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different things you could do with this. I think you could try to like dome it back together on top.
What I've been thinking of, yes.
That might help sort of pull it in and give it more of a tree shape as opposed to this sort of conical explosion shape that's going on now.
Yeah.
And then getting more brown structure in here if that's possible.
It's definitely possible because I have all the pieces that I use for the cherry blossom trees themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
Flex tube might be an option.
okay. I definitely
Um,
have vines and whips.
yeah, and if you have some brown flex tube, depends on whether or not you're scared of cutting it or not.
I think I do, and I'm not afraid of cutting it.
All right, yeah, brown flex tube might work well because it's really thin,
I think I've
and
said
then you
this.
can still clip on it.
I think I've said this on the stream before, but at Legoland when we ordered FlexTube, it came in spools,
Yeah.
and we just cut off what we needed.
Oh, there you go.
And we stopped using it because it deteriorates in the sun in about a week. So yeah, I'm disappointed in how this turned out. I think because of the experience I have with the trees and creating and really liking the texture I came up with for the trees.
Yeah.
I want some pink leaves to put on there. I have not given myself the time to even look up if they come in pink, in any type of pink. Magenta I think would be fine. I tried it with the medium lavender. That doesn't look great. Or I don't know which one's darker. Whichever one's the darker of the two is the leaf that I tried, and it looked awful.
Okay.
But yeah, this needs a lot of work and it needs a lot more time than I've been able to give to it. However, that's where the majority of my time went. I'm going to move some stuff around to show you my other conundrum from the week.
Okay.
As I've decided to make the back of it asymmetrical because I love my asymmetry, I had to reconfigure that staircase that was originally there. Goodbye, cherry blossom branches. Well, that takes care of that. It definitely needs to be reconstructed now because it's in pieces. Here is, I got to move this whole thing. I might be doing some camera movement here, so take your. Oh, good, thank you. That would people.
Yeah. For a little while, everyone was just looking at me, but I thought, well, it's gonna be weird to have you talking while I'm sitting here, so this is what we went with. So, Mark's making a few adjustments here. I don't know that we've seen the exterior staircase yet. Looks like you're working on that now.
Yeah.
I know that you were working on sort of a new way to move from the garden level up to the orchard level, as well as the orchard house.
Yep.
That you've been working on. And so we can sort of get an idea here of what that is that you're intending to
There we
make
go.
it look like a bit.
Nice camera management there, Ben. All right, so
Yeah.
here is. I'll turn it this way. Here's the standard for the railing around the entire orchard / vineyard. I'm trying to turn that into a staircase railing with limited success so far. So you can see kind of like the around the fountain and above this area here, this appears and it's got like two plates beneath it. So I'm trying to translate that into a staircase. And I was initially pretty happy with how this turned out. This is like version 5.
Mm-hmm.
But this platform that you walk up to ends basically here. And so as you can see for the for the railing to come down from that level, like this railing along here would have to be about twice the height of what it already is, which is not feasible. Mm-hmm. I also said,
I'm not. That's my official opinion.
yeah, I like that opinion. Thank you.
So why do you need this railing standard in air quotes to be higher than where the stair railing is ending? That
I don't.
the square brick and the two plates.
Yeah.
If you took that out and replace it with the round shape there, the round 2x2,
I think the problem I'm having with that, or initially it worked really well with this configuration, with like each one of these, I don't know, what are they called, balustrades up on, instead of it being a brick, it was 2 plates with a cheese slope instead of, see what I was originally doing?
Yep.
But fancy ass me has to do a snotted staircase, so I can't just do bricks going up.
Yep.
So this is all snotted brick, so you can kind of see like
Uh-huh.
how it doesn't match the rise and run of the staircase already.
Right.
And so if that was to drop a, come on, camera.
It's a short run though.
It is a short run.
I mean, yeah, it gets off, but it's not horrible.
Come on, camera. There you go. Here, look, there's a person. You love people. You love faces. There you go. Oh, I had to move. All right, come on. Jeez.
You're just relying on it to autofocus.
Yeah, I'm trying to move the focus button now, and it's actually like fighting me. Here.
Live streaming professionals, people.
That's right, we are.
Walmart's doing that. Seeing how good we are at this, you could, of course, like and subscribe if you so wanted. If you want to see more of us struggling with our cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hear more of us talking about staircases and have Mark use his fancy staircase words at you.
Ben,
make sure to like and subscribe. Yes.
I have a touchscreen focus feature on my DLSR camera.
That's good.
Tap it where I want it to focus, and it does it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Ha! How long have I had? Have we been doing this?
You've always had that feature.
You know what? If I stop the staircase from what's it called? Okay, how do I describe this? If it hinges here instead, then I don't have to worry about the height over here. How am I that much of a dummy that I didn't think of that before? That'll solve the height problem, because I actually am kind of, with the glaring exception of the bottom of the railing down here, I was happy with how this turned out. Yeah. Because I do want it to be the same standard again as this railing.
Yeah.
And
well, the other thing you could do is that very bottom rail.
Yeah.
You could cut that off and move it to the double thick one.
Exactly. Well, which is what's going to happen in front of that. I just wasn't sure how much space I needed first.
Yeah.
If it was going to go in front of it, or if it was going to replace that. Again, if
replace the first one.
Spindle, not balustrade.
The first
spindle.
First spindle. Yes.
Yes.
I think it should replace the first spindle, and then I would put the other larger column one to replace that very back spindle.
Yes, and then you do it here, knock it completely out, and like not worry, because the reason it's there in the first place is to match more of the rise and run of the stairs along. When people are looking at the whole thing together, there's like 8 other creations in front of it, basically. Yep. So if anyone's like, oh, that's not a standard railing rise and run, I even tried to snot this. Snot this with this. Here, I'll put this up here by her since she's in. Well, here. With that,
there you go.
Like the cheese slopes wouldn't, go all the way to the edge. And then I tried. Let me see if I can put this together real quick. Probably can't, but I mean, basically tried to put. Let's see if this does it. Do it like this, so that they were actually like a brick height apart, but then these 2 studs get in the way of each other.
Yep.
I was like, Lego geometry. I'm like, why can't we have this piece with no stud on top, with a tile, with a flat, like with a smooth top? Look at me refocusing just by touching the screen. Woo! All right, we're professional content creators now. Look at us. I was actually really excited about that.
Yeah, I understand why.
I actually said woo. I actually turned into a woo girl for a minute.
There you go. Well, I think that's a pretty easy/reasonable adjustment. I think you've got it. You just needed to sort of back out from the fact that really you've just got 2 more spindles than you need. You take those 2 out and move to those thicker end points, and I think you'll be good.
Look at this craziness.
Yeah, yeah, okay. That's a lot.
Tried to make it slide over these cheese slopes here by putting brackets and tiles.
I bet that was very thick.
That was very aggravating because I was like, yeah, look, the geometry works. And then I put it together and I was like, oh, but it also looks terrible.
Yes. Yes. What fits and what ships are 2 different things.
Creak.
Did you ever hear that?
See, here's my touchscreen. Here's like the LED display. I hit this and it refocuses. If I want to focus on this plant, boop. Now it's focusing on the plant. If I want to focus on this corner, boop. Focuses on that corner. Look at this.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I'm so excited about this. All right.
Yeah, and I switched my DSLR, and I got the battery pack this week to show my ugly face. I might move it over to the mock camera, at least for some of the other things we're doing eventually. Okay, well, let's pull that out, and then let's switch us, because I'm the guy on the left.
Yep.
And then we will see what else we're going to talk about, because the next one is the exciting one, Girl Scout cookies. It is Girl Scout cookie season.
Oh, cool. Hey, so I have no idea what you're talking about. And it's the perfect time for me to take a refrigerator and bathroom break. Sorry.
Do that.
This isn't even BPH. I mean, you are. This is just overactive bladder. Bye.
We'll be back in a minute, and while he's gone, we'll just look at me.
Scouts.
My daughter, this is not a plug to buy Girl Scout cookies from my daughter, though. She is a Girl Scout, which means I know that they're starting Girl Scout cookie season. And of course, the question becomes almost immediately, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie? When they come around, it's now $6 a box instead of 5. What's the go-to, right? So I've got 2, and you guys can fight me on this if you want. I've got 2 that I tend to get. There are 2 more that I can tolerate, and then there are a few that I just don't eat. But the top choice, the top pick, the tier list, if we were making one, the number 1, the legend, it's got to be the Thin Mint, right? That's got to be number 1. Anybody even try to deny that this is the number 1? And you're just wrong, because it is. Now, my secondary choice, I think, is sometimes a little controversial, because it doesn't always get the love that it deserves. And maybe it's because people think they are too dang boring. But my number 2 pick, the one that I always also get, is the good old shortbread buttery trefoil cookie. They've got the Girl Scout logo for the face. A little creepy to be eating a Girl Scout's face, maybe. I don't know. But it is just the logo. This is number 2 for me. I love that I can put it in my mouth, basically melts in the mouth. And I don't feel too full eating a couple of those, because they're very bite-sizable, very delicious. My daughter set a goal to sell 101 boxes, which I think isn't a bad goal for a first year selling cookies. I think she's already over halfway there. A lot of people love Girl Scout cookies. Nobody in the comments, though, has fought me on the top 2 picks. Maybe we'll get some feedback later. But that's what I'm getting in my Girl Scout cookie order. I'm not touching the Caramel Delights because I hate coconuts. Fight me if you like them, but you're wrong.
I like fresh coconut, but I don't like that coconut they put on those cookies, because it's like the dried candy kind that are processed and terrible.
I don't know. Some people like swear by those stupid things, and I'm like,
no,
they are terrible in my opinion.
I agree with you. I think your opinion is actually fact. I think you're mixing up fact and opinion.
It could be. I do that a lot. Some people like the peanut butter patties. Some people like the lemonades, and there's some other ones that they're coming out with every now and then. But I'm just tried and true. I just go, Thin Mints trefoils.
Can I
What else do you even need?
can I share an unpopular opinion?
Yes.
I don't like Girl Scout cookies at all.
Wow, you are in the minority, I promise. Joellen coming here saying,
yeah.
of course, it's Samoa's, tagalongs, then Thin Mints. Samoas are the ones that are now referred to as caramel delights.
Yeah.
Not a fan, as I just mentioned, but perhaps they are. I think she's probably more concerned about the name changes, that they're no longer Samoas and tagalongs.
I've been told
those new ones.
I've been told I have no soul because I don't like Girl Scout cookies.
You might be. Alternate candidate says, I am the rare one that doesn't like Thin Mints. Well, you are both rare and possibly evil.
Because they're just Ritz crackers with York peppermint patties melted over them.
Ooh, that's an interesting take.
His favorites are caramel delights. And just back to the Rob Claxton news, he did win. That is his lug. Congratulations, sir. That is amazing. Again, I have Discord closed. I was like, send me pictures. I'll put them up, and I have it closed. So I don't know if you sent me pictures. If you did, I will share them. Joellen just actually you.
2 names depending on where they're produced. Okay, they're the same dang cookie. I grew up with them called one thing. Now they're called the other. I don't like the name Caramel Delight because I'm like, it's not delightful to start with, even though apparently Alternate Candidate and a few other ones like them. Yeah, the Samoas are from one, the Caramel Delights are from the other.
I really want to know why they have different names in different places now.
Apparently they have 2 bakeries. One's like ABC Bakery and one's got some other name.
But don't they have someone working on their branding? They're like, hey, you should call this recipe this when you make the box.
This is an institution.
Yeah, that's my point. Shouldn't this institution have a consistent brand?
Yep. And Jesse is correct. The Thin Mints are the impulse flavor. They're the ones that Dairy Queen put in a Blizzard flavor. They're the ones that people want. Get your stupid Samoas out of here. And I know a lot of people like them, but I don't. ABC and Little Brownie Bakers. It's been that way since the 1970s. Though I'm in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I was outstate. They were Samoas and tagalongs. In the Twin Cities, they're Caramel Delights and peanut butter patties or whatever the heck they're called.
What's the one that's shaped like the Girl Scout logo?
That would be the trefoil.
And what do they make that out of? Cardboard?
Harsh. That is harsh. They are delicious. I am going to eat 2 of them on stream every week now just to upset you.
Oh no!
But anyway.
Eat cardboard if you want. As long as I don't have to eat them myself.
Wow. Well, Mark, we won't bother selling any to you, so my daughter can go to Girl Scouts.
I would buy them from her.
Does Matt like Girl Scout cookies?
I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him.
I knew you were a monster. I just didn't know this was.
Sorry. I'm surprised how early. Sorry, Rob Claxton sent me video. I'm like, let's try this work on Discord.
You're just
full screen. Yeah, let's show the video that he sent.
Okay, let's do it.
The award-winning South Carolina lug. South Carolina, did I get that right? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was South Carolina brick lug.
South Carolina brick lug. All right, here it is. Let's check.
Really, he got him.
Oh dang! You're a big old city.
It's a big old city.
Nice.
And all you're ever gonna be is mean.
Oh wow!
Taylor Swift joke there.
I didn't get it. I'm not a Swiftie. Here, there's just a lot of talking. Don't try to make me a Swiftie. I'm just not.
I'm not trying to make you a Swiftie. It's just one of her old songs.
Yeah, I don't know why I got so defensive about that. Actually,
it's okay.
To be fair, I don't know why I bristled at you. Is this the same video I just showed? It is.
It is. Yep.
Let's try this one.
Looks like they're setting it up there.
Oh,
starting from the same corner on both, but
wait. Oh yeah. So I think I think this was the first one I showed.
Yeah.
And then this is the second one. I think
They're similar, but they start in a slightly different place.
but they're definitely setting up in both. Anyway, thank you, Rob. This looks like a very cool display. Congratulations on your win. 20 people involved in making this city that seems to go around a giant corner of the this display island here. Very cool. I love Brickworld QR codes, by the way. One of my favorite things in the world. Stop sharing.
I did one for the Bricks and Minifigs opening. I did one of those, and then it was one of those deals where they're like, you can put your Instagram and your whatever, and then it spits one out so that when people click on it, they can go to three different ones. But of course, they only give you like a week free trial, and then they're like, after the week's up, they're like, pay us money if you want to keep this website. I'm like, no, I'll just find somewhere else and do it.
I have done
before Brickworld. I'll just do a different one.
I have done that with Brickworld advertisements.
There you go. Just don't scan them a week after, because we're not paying for the extra week.
Fun fact: if you have an Adobe Creative Cloud account, Adobe Express can make permanent QR codes for you. Actually, QR codes should just be permanent. I don't understand this. Like, I think there's somewhere in my accounts that I'm still paying someone $2.99 because of the Grand Rapids mess up with, like, I just Googled, because you used to be able to do it, just like Google, like, generate QR code, and then whatever was generated you can use forever. And now it's just like, no, we need $2.99 a month. I'm like, what?
Well, I think if you just had it for one site or one location, it would be fine. It's the sites that amalgamate them into, like, 3 different websites.
No, ours was just the Eventbrite ticket links.
Oh, should work then.
It expired. Yeah, whoops. Live and learn. When businessing, you live and learn.
Weird.
Live to die.
I also, I didn't get a lot of. I got a well actually from Joellen.
Yeah, you did.
I learned that Mark has no soul and that alternate candidate has no taste. So, we we learn things about the tainted every day on the stream.
We learned that Jesse has a niece.
That's true.
And he buys from her. So you keep your dirty Girl Scout cookie sales out of space.
Hey, man. When the Girl Scouts come up and ask me, do you want to buy cookies? I say, I've got a daughter that I buy them from. Here's $2. Please leave me alone. I still give them $2, though. I don't know. I'm a fool like that.
So Joellen knows the name of the bakeries.
I knew one of them, too.
Apparently it's... Oh, did you?
Well, I'd heard this whole thing about there being 2 bakeries and all this other nonsense, but I thought they had just all combined now into one. But if there's still 2, that's fine. It's just nonsense.
It's been this way since the 70s at least.
And why do they do that?
I don't know. I'm mad.
At least alternate candidate is taking it well.
Right? I do love that. We have to meet you in person, sir.
Yes. The next topic. Next topic is goodies.
Oh.
I'm gonna put you solo for 1 second so I can get out my goodie.
All right, cool. Hey guys, it's me. I'm here. You know what? One thing, Ben, that I have wanted to do again. I think we already did it with this, but I have an entire pile of these. If you want to play this game, say tonight. We can make it part of next week. But I found this today because I was cleaning up the remnants of the stable. We did this once. I've got a huge pile of these. Guess where this sticker sheet is from. However, it takes a little bit of research on my part to find out first so I can actually give you an answer if you guess right or wrong. But I have a huge pile of these. Next week, you guys, I hear a rumor that Nicole is going to be back on and we're going to do Lego Crimes. Now, so I'm going to say that that's what you should expect next week. So I'm pretty sure that's what we already discussed. And I forgot to text her today to make sure that this was going to happen. So if for whatever reason Nicole's not available for Lego Crimes, Ben and I will do a segment called Lego in the News. Surprise, Ben. Where we'll find something interesting to talk about where Lego showed up in the news that isn't something that's like the Harry Potter castle is coming out or some sort of interesting aspect of how Lego affects another part of life. Maybe murder, maybe I mean maybe not murder, maybe not crime, but something Lego in the news. If Nicole is here, we will definitely do Lego crimes. I have several cases ready to go, and it's way overdue that we do Lego crimes again because the first episode was absolutely fascinating. It was one of my favorites by far. My case was bonkers, and I have a similarly bonkers case, but nowhere near as dark as the last one that I've been sitting on for a while, and I hope neither one of you has it, Ben, you or Nicole. Oh, I can see what's in the green room.
Yeah. So we talked about this.
This, yeah, I about lost my mind when you showed it to me last week.
We talked about this briefly.
ah, so
Uh,
this castle I ever got.
yeah, last week we talked about that at My Bricks and Minifigs they had a nice castle.
You did it. You pulled the trigger.
And I was debating whether or not I should do it.
Where's Z's spouse for this announcement? Is she watching?
I will tell you where she is, off camera. She's not available today, and the reason is interesting, but I'll tell you later. So she's not watching right now, which is fine. But there were two reasons I got this castle. First of all, it's classic, and the minifigures seem to be in really excellent condition.
Do you know how much?
To me?
You know how much fun I thought this was when I was a kid? Look at how tiny that castle is.
I know, and it hinges open in the back.
Well, I know, it's badass.
Right? But this is it. I mean, the footprint's tiny on it.
Right?
Right? I mean, it's not spectacular in that sense.
I've built Fabulous houses bigger than that. Hey, we got a nice thank you from Rob Claxton. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for sharing your news with us.
Yeah, so I had to get it. The shields are in great condition as well. So it was a really nice condition. Look at the torso on this guy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It still shines.
Not all rubbed off and all that stuff. But
right?
I also purchased with some points from Lego this adorable little thing that they had on
I was wondering what that was.
VIP thing. And so of course this here is obviously
should we call
miniaturized version of this.
Should we call him a hypocrite, Jesse? It's like suddenly he likes Castle.
Yeah, hypocrite. I fully admitted I'm a hypocrite. That's not a
can before we go on, this is very exciting. I love it. The red.
Yeah.
The red in this build. Like I remember going oh god, where was it? It was like my dad worked for an accounting firm. I'm sorry, he was an accountant at a plant here somewhere in Chicago. And we had to go to like some sort of like broker's office or something on his way to work. I used to go to work with him on Saturdays. And it reminds me of that. It's like an 80s corporate office. Red, gray, dark gray. I suppose they wanted that to be brown or like some sort of stone. My second visceral reaction to this is those castle wall panels. Mm-hmm. Do you know how much I used to collect those? Like they were like the hottest commodity. Like this is the only way you can build a Lego castle is with these.
They were like gold.
It's like if I didn't have them, I couldn't build a castle.
Right.
Gold. I sold them all on Bricklink. That's the end of that anecdote.
Well, and now as a mocker, that's what you should do with them. You should sell them if you have them. There are so many better ways to do castle walls, but
yeah,
you know, when we're talking about the classic set itself,
mm-hmm.
you know, then they're just sort of cute. The other thing about these panels, I have several, you know, because I as a kid played with these.
Yeah.
That have this thin piece that comes out here, so you can build the walls up on top, the battlements on top. Yeah. I have several where this piece is broken off.
Oh yeah, you step on that thing.
So typical.
That's the one piece that'll lose. Well, it's one of the pieces that will lose when you step on it instead of your foot losing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a not the best. That's why they've redesigned. They later, I would say, in the early 2000s, had different castle wall panels that were an even number wide as well, because that's
instead of being 5 wide.
Yeah. Wide, yeah. And the but I believe, sir, this is called the Knight's Castle. There was a bigger King's Castle that was basically the same thing but thicker.
Yep. So this is Knight's Castle, and it's, like I said, nice play with this mini set I got. I figure I am going to use this as inspiration for a castle mock. I'll have to keep some form of the red door, but it probably won't look like this.
Yeah.
To sort of do the miniature, the Lego set, and then what can be inspired from it.
Oh, fun. Oh, that's going to be amazing.
So that's what we'll get to with this. But
It's red and gray.
It'll probably be dark red, quite honestly.
All right. Okay.
But it might be regular red. We'll see.
All right. Okay.
But we'll see which ones play better together when we get to it.
Okay.
But here's what I picked up. I was excited. It had been sitting in the store for over a week, and no one else snatched it up. So I finally did.
For you. No, this is a great buy.
So,
hey, you know what? There's probably an item on brickshellcases.com that you can get a nice display case for it. Maybe wall mounted and magnetized, or maybe just something that you could sit it out on a shelf, nicely protected by acrylic to stop the old gray from yellowing.
Yeah. I think the thing that I am most excited about is these old Falcon Knights shields with yellow trim.
Cool. I do love it. Yes.
I like the new version, the silvery ones that are a little updated, but the classic one with the yellow, for some reason, I'm a giant sucker for.
With the yellow and not the blue.
I like the blue ones too, but the yellow ones in particular, I just find fascinating.
Why and how the yellow? Because I thought we boo earns people.
We do boo yellow in general, but as an accent color, it's just it's fun, and it was different, and it's not so matchy with the rest of the figure. So I like the yellow ones for whatever reason.
All right.
I'll say the same thing about the lion shields. They have the ones with the blue backgrounds, but then they also have ones with the yellow backgrounds.
Okay.
I prefer the yellow ones for whatever reason on these two.
All right.
Which is super strange, because you know how I feel about yellow in general.
I made a banner.
There you go. Boo ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe yellow's not all bad at all times.
Well, if you make a whole castle out of it, then you're just scourge of the earth.
Yes, 100%.
But there you go. So that was one of my goodies. The other thing that I picked up there, I think I may have showed this. It's an unopened set, not even that old. But one set that I absolutely loved when Lego produced it.
That is fun.
The Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon.
I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I love the orc figures. The colors were good. The 3D skull's really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of cool pieces in this one too.
Yeah, it's a nice design.
Yep.
Further Ninjago is gone, the more I feel like they get to do, especially working with like probably cartoonists and like art directors and concept artists. I feel like they get to have a little bit more fun than some of the other product line designers get to.
Yeah. I also enjoyed these. They have these weapons packs that are like these half-finished weapon blades that you can attach onto other things. I think that's going to be really fun to do some sort of orc forge or something where they're making all kinds of crazy weapons.
Look at you getting into Castle.
No, I'm not into Castle. I just happened to pick up this.
Feels like you're branching out.
Branching out to Castle. Something new, something I've never done before.
As long as I'm in here.
Yes, nobody here, fortunately, is wearing a laced-up tunic, but it's nice to point out that it is, in fact, not a medieval hoodie. It is a laced-up tunic.
Yeah, good to know. What blows my mind about this, the red front, is the gray plate to the right.
Yeah.
I love asymmetry, but I'm also just still a little bit confused.
And then this also cropping out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like why did they do both of these things?
No.
It was a choice. I think in whatever I build that's inspired from this, it probably won't look like this right here.
Oh, please make it look exactly like that.
No, thank you.
Or find an interesting way for there to be like some sort of outcropping or like
some sort of bizarre symmetry. Yeah, I mean there.
Yeah.
Maybe a an interesting brick or something else going on here, but
100%. A loose brick, like
something.
yeah, mortar. Like put some mortar between the dark red bricks that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Have one of them loose or something. Like, yeah, please honor that choice by the original designer.
We'll figure something out. But yeah, this is just
Mm,
very interesting.
I love this. Someone wasn't here. Alternate candidate said, "So would a lace-up tunic with a hood be a medieval hoodie?" That's the problem. You just accentuated the exact problem Ben was having with the with the new torso from the what's the name of the
Medieval Town Square.
there? Yeah,
Medieval Town Square. Sorry, I am bashing my camera around hideously here.
it's totally fine. We can take you off.
I don't know. I'm just getting a reset.
All right.
Then I gotta tighten down this whole thing here. It's a whole thing. But it's on the superior. Look
Okay.
how smooth that is. The superior mic arm now, so I can move it around nicely.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a minute though. There we go. I bought I bought a camera arm. I just have not installed it yet. Brick Orphanage says the Samoas are the best, but you haven't lived until you have hot boxed by 20 case of thin. What? Oh, I thought you were telling me I was wrong. I was like, no, I swear this comment just came in.
No. He's just wrong about the Samoas being the best.
But you haven't lived until you've been hot boxed by 20 cases of Thin Mints. What? Until you've been hot boxed?
Think like you're in the car, it's getting hot in there, all of a sudden you're smelling all that Thin Mint goodness.
Gotcha. Being a Girl Scout cookie dad has its privileges. Yikes.
Yeah, you're just like, ooh, it smells so minty in here, you know?
As a person who smoked joints in college, I had a very different definition of hot box. Alternate candidate says, "Oh, I was here. Just want to drive home. The point. Yeah, I gotcha. Thank you."
Yes, the good old medieval hoodie.
Yeah.
But it's not a medieval hoodie. What is it, Mark?
First, it's a lace-up tunic.
It's a lace-up tunic.
Fun times.
This is what you miss if you're not here for Mondays. You miss the lace-up tunic discussion.
What's next on our agenda?
I think we're going to be talking about a grumpy group of gnomes.
Grumpy gnomes.
Grumpy gnomes. So let's switch over to that. We'll take my goodies out of the camera shot.
Mm-hmm.
We will present a screen here. It'll be the entire screen of this one. First, let's look at the...
Hey, Ben, this is something we need to work on. I do the same thing where I'm like...
narrating what we're doing?
I say it out loud where I'm like, share screen.
Yes.
Screen. No. And so it's like, when I'm about to share screen, I just need you to like talk so that I don't do that.
No. Let's first briefly talk about the lace-up tunic.
It's one of the first I've heard you do it, by the way. You're usually very smooth at it. I suck at it.
Here's the lace-up tunic over here. I contend it looks like a medieval hoodie, but...
Ben, accept those cookies. Accept.
I
agree.
I don't agree. Okay, so lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie, you tell me. However, the one thing we also noted about this hat on this gentleman here.
Oh, true.
Or this girl. I think it might be a girl. She's got little eyelashes. I hate to gender her or he or him or they. But we looked at this thing and we thought, that looks like it could be something from Legend of Zelda if it had ears, but perhaps more appropriately, that looks like something that might be worn in this Snow White and the Seven Gnomes.
By a gnome. Yeah, you called it last week.
A gnome hat. So here we go. We've got the gnomes.
Oops, I have a comment up there in the way of the gnomes. Rob Claxton asks, wow, that's a lot of sounds. Is it me or is Ben getting to be a softie for Lego Castle? Or did Ben have a sugar high on Thin Mints? Yeah, I think he's right. I think you're becoming a softie for Lego.
No, it's the Thin Mints for sure.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Look at all those lace-up tunic pointed hats.
Look at all those
Where I'm-
beards that don't cover the mouth. The old classic chin-only beard.
I don't know what beard that is.
It's just a straight up beard. It's new ones minus anything that goes over the mouth. It's crazy. So you can still see all their mouths.
No mustache beards.
I think that the second gnome here,
Yes.
I presume we're saying that right, gnome,
Gnome is way.
is the Grumpy gnome. So Grumpy gnome is what we're talking about here. So a couple of things about this that
Charlie says he's not that grumpy.
well, that's okay. You don't have to be
Good
Charlie.
to know.
I don't know. I didn't know that Charlie was a gnome, but that's his business, not mine. So yeah, lots of things to talk about here.
Alternate candidate. I think the element is actually decorated. I don't think that's a sticker. Anyway.
I think it probably is a sticker.
They're all Amish gnomes. That's why they have no mustaches. Oh, God. I accidentally clicked on that because it came up as I was trying to turn off alternate candidates comment. So I was like, "What's on the screen?" And so I just read it out loud and just about choked. You know what? Real quick on this, as I'm staring at it, you looked at my my silly proportion presentation. They're nailing the cartoony aspect of the proportions of this cottage down to not only the heights and the literal proportions, the crooked shutters. Like I'm dead over the crooked shutters.
Yeah, they are cute. I think they're nice. There's a couple of other interesting things that I see on this front. The hinges on the door here.
Yeah.
Or that new weird piece that we talked about.
Oh God,
not that long ago. The triple clip piece.
What?
So I think I can zoom in even more. I've got the zoom on a dial now. So look at this.
I'm gonna pull this up. Are you on?
How fancy I am.
You're on.
These came from Brothers Brick.
Okay.
But there it is, the triple clip piece.
Yeah.
Two of them making the hinge.
Huh.
I also think all of these like end tile pieces, I think they're like owl faces.
Is that not the 1x1 with tooth?
No, this is like a tile with a picture on it.
I can't see. Oh, that! I'm sorry.
Yeah, this.
I thought you were pointing to the teeth.
Nope. This piece here, the end of these tiles that jut out.
Okie doke.
So that's kind of interesting. Might get a better look at those. We also have our favorite, the new squished tri-leaf super pedal thing above the door. As well as a random lavender one over here and a couple more.
What is happening?
The traditional colored ones. So I don't know what's up with that exactly. We also have a bunch of fern pieces used to make bottoms of pine trees. That's becoming a favorite with Lego.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just mentioning it.
Yeah.
And then we have like the super organic looking birch tree over here as well.
It's a river birch.
With these interesting black. I don't know what do they call this black minifig stand piece that were first used to be able to create dynamic poses for the.
I'll look it
TMFs.
up. I'll look it up because I just searched for it. It's under bar.
Yeah, it's a stud with a bar that's off at an angle, and they're using it to create interesting angles for these branches here.
It's a bar one length with angled hollow stud.
Okay, well that's kind of a boring name. It needs a better name. We'll come up with one.
We should call it the zoom piece.
I think that the tainted should help us with this.
Yes.
Action piece is a suggestion from alternate candidate. I guess we could call it that. It kind of makes sense. The action piece. But yeah, they're using that. I've used that piece as well in trans clear on some trees to create some effects, since it actually has an interesting angle to it. But here they're using it more officially in this.
Now that I'm looking at this up close, like these gnomes are so Amish. That was such a good call. Who said that? It was Brick Orphanage.
It was Brick Orphanage.
Right.
Yep.
That is Such a very, very good call on this. Oh my god.
the the Amish gnomes. So let's see if we know the gnomes' names. I
Okay.
think this one's Doc,
Yes.
Grumpy.
Me.
I think this one
Happy.
back here is
Happy.
Bashful, maybe.
The third one?
No, I skipped one. So this one you think is Happy.
Yeah.
The one that's yawning, I'm guessing, is Sleepy.
Yes.
I know this little
Bashful,
guy is Dopey,
of course. Uh,
unfortunately.
Bashful is,
Bashful.
and then who's the one with the pickaxe?
So I think we're missing this one. Who knows the missing dwarf? Or maybe Gnome. Who knows the
No.
missing gnome's name?
We accidentally mispronounced dwarf.
Yes.
Um, I'm sorry, mispronounced gnome.
Gnome. Yes.
um,
So who's this gnome? Which
I'm miss-
gnome are we missing?
yeah, his personality is not represented well here.
No. Dopey is the only one who has ears.
Pickaxey.
Pickaxey. Yeah. Actiony. Sneezy.
Oh, is it? Well,
Well, one of these is sleepy and one of them's sneezy. So which
easy.
one's which?
I think I don't
Maybe
know.
this one's sleepy and this one's sneezy. He looked
Like
like he was yawning, but maybe he's getting ready to
he's about to
sneeze. I'm not
sneeze.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's a good question.
It is a good question. One's got a long beard, one's got a short beard, but I think there's your gnomes, all 7 of them.
Sneezy. Like what
Sneezy, sleazy dwarf, more
personality?
like it.
Like people just knew he's like, oh, that's our sneezy friend.
And then we get a look at the backside here. I like the use of the heart piece for the chairs, the chair backings.
Okay.
Are these brown cups? I'm not sure I've seen reddish brown cups before. They make them look very
Oh.
wooden, but I'm not sure I've seen it before.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
So I went to Legoland Billund in like 2007, and one of the people I went with like knew somebody in the model shop, and they gave us like 10 minutes to go like raid the drawers for like whatever we wanted, and I found old brown wine glasses.
Ah.
And I've used them in several mocks, and nobody noticed that they weren't a piece that Lego produced. And so no, I know for a fact that this is new.
Okay. Well, there you go. So we've got these coppery / wooden colored mugs or wine glasses all around the table. Prince Charming apparently is just making himself at home.
Hey Ben, you see the back of the door there?
Yes, I do.
Have we seen that piece before? Wait, because there's tile.
I don't know.
I don't think we have. I think we've seen a full like 2x6 version of it, but that might be a 2x3.
I'm guessing that it probably is a full 2x6 version, and then it's just
Oh,
not tiled at the bottom, but we can't tell from here.
maybe. Yeah, good call. All right.
I think I do have one here. I do. We switch over to me quickly. I do have one in red.
That's what it looks like.
So there it is. I'm guessing there's just 2 of them. It's full the way down to the bottom, so it's probably just tiled over.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, an interesting look there at that, and then it looks like they're using sand green to hook the hinges up. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is odd.
But
did you see the witch?
Yes, I've seen her in a couple of shots, just hiding back here, like eat the apple.
It's not how she does it, but okay.
It's basically what she does. How about this piece though?
Creepy. Which one?
This one up here at the end of the bed.
Oh yeah.
That's a tile that looks like if it's one piece.
It's a 2
appear
rounded on one side.
Yeah, I can't tell. It looks like it's only one piece because look at the backside over here. Looks
Yeah,
like
no, it's
just a
definitely
single piece.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
So that's a new piece that to me at least.
Hey, are those? Let's look at the sarcophagus.
Yes.
Over to the right. What are those? What color are those leaves? The tri leaves.
I think those are olive green.
Oh, boo. Okay, I thought they were dark tan. Never mind.
Nope, I think they're olive green. But it is interesting they're using both olive green and some brighter colors in this set. Mixing them together pretty well, I'd say. And it looks like the
Not sure.
Grumpy here is I'm guessing that this is Sleepy here.
Yeah.
Because he's sleeping. So that would tell us that this guy is Sneezy, the forgotten dwarf that no one can remember. And Grumpy apparently here is trying to take on a spider all by himself.
Right. What does he have in his hand?
That's a broom.
A broom. Okay, it looked like
Yeah.
that looked like a cone at first. It's a broom thing. Okay, okay.
A giant ice cream cone.
No, it's a one by one cone.
He's like, come down here and eat the ice cream cone, Spider.
Well, do me a favor. At the bottom where Snow White is,
Yeah.
to the right, there's a 2x2 dark tan or nougat tile that has a pattern on it. What is that
Right
pattern?
here. I
Yeah,
can't tell from here.
neither can I.
It looks like a squirrel almost. I can't tell.
I'm 1,000% getting this for parts pack because I want every one of these pieces and we'll use them. Maybe not the yellow roof.
Yeah, it's very yellow.
Wah!
And we have a particular feeling about yellow. And I believe that it's this. Sometimes it's
Oh,
this.
there we go.
Sometimes it's this. But usually it's this.
What is happening?
Just giving you all the boost. Just giving you all the
I'm
choices.
sorry. I'm thinking out loud. Because I'm looking at this on a different screen, so I can actually see it.
So you can get the full size. Yeah.
Yes, and I accidentally zoomed in on an ad trying to figure out what this silly 2x2 tile is. The decoration. Oh man,
Yeah, maybe we have another one we can get to.
Yeah, it's all right.
In a second here. But other interesting thing is they've got this long railing here in the back, almost like they intended for there to be a roof piece, or maybe there is a roof piece that lifts off. I'm actually kind of guessing maybe there is. So like this closes, and then you can lift the roof piece that goes here off.
But no,
and this holds it.
What? Wait a minute. It hinges back together on that, doesn't it?
It does, but the hinge would only close this roof off to this side over here.
I see what you're saying.
There'd be nothing here.
Okay, sorry. Yep.
So I'm
you're
guessing that there's a roof that comes off.
right. Oh, enough. Sorry, it was
so
me.
that it looks nice. But I also wonder when that happens, like, what's sitting back here normally? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, good call. I don't know either.
I don't know.
So it was quite a while that Joellen called that it was sneezy. We ignored her, but she had it.
Actually, this doesn't hinge back towards us. I think it hinges closed this way.
So alternate candidate is searching this on Lego for us. He says it's hard to tell, but kind of looks like a squirrel on the decoration near Snow White. Yep.
Yeah, I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
There's the front. Oh yeah, so there definitely is. So I think the way that this opens is in the middle here, and then this is the one they took off.
Why does it open that
side? Yeah, I don't know why it needs to hinge open. It's very strange. It hinges here in the back.
But isn't it? Wait a minute. It isn't the back open? Wait a minute. I'm confused.
Yeah, I think this is the front door, right?
Yeah.
Front door here.
Oh, I see.
This wall is here.
Oh my god.
This is the other roof, and then this is the one that comes off.
Yes, and that's yes. Okay, I agree.
So it is kind of interesting. So it is partially open in the back, but then you have to take this side off to play with it, and you can unfold it into this configuration. If you
yes.
So it's partially dollhouse here, but then you have to take the side off over here.
But since it has to, I wonder what holds it into that rail, because it's way past where that rail is. So something else is giving it a little bit of a claw action.
Some sort of clip in here, probably, I'm guessing, but I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. What I mean is along the, because I think the roof goes way out past that rail.
Yeah, I think it does. It goes down quite a ways because you can
see a lot
of it here.
Well, you can see it on the other side. It goes along the tan slopes.
Yeah, it goes all the way down to here. So it does go down pretty far. So I don't know what secures it, but it sits up here.
Mm-hmm.
When it does go in. So there we've got a nice picture without the front. Here's the evil hag witch with her white hair coming out of the bottom of the hood. They just did a printing for that. Not my favorite, I guess, but I suppose it's better than building a whole new hairpiece just to have some white nonsense coming out of it.
Right, I guess.
Here you can get a better look at those tile pieces that I questioned whether or not they were owls. Yeah, they look like owls.
They
Look at
do.
that.
No, I agree with you.
They look like owls everywhere. I don't know. Maybe it's some other
Hey,
piece.
it's definitely a squirrel. It's 100% a squirrel.
Okay.
It's part of the organ here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Let me share my
Hopefully you
screen.
can see it. Yeah, it's a squirrel like standing on top of the bottom of a log. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
Oops.
I didn't know that it was an organ, but okay. But yeah, it's an organ, all right.
I only know from the movie. How is this? How are these connected?
Um, Good question. So I think that the piece in between there is a 1x1 that has the nougat colored 1x1 with a
Oh
stud
yes,
hole in it.
yes.
But they apparently have one that has 2 holes in it.
Well, and this one has yeah. So it's a 2x2 rounded with 2 studs on top, and then down here this
Yeah.
is a 2x2 plate with that's 2 plates high with side studs, and that's how this is all happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do have that piece in existence already, but it is. I don't think I've seen it in nougat, but who knows?
And these are definitely stickers: squirrel, rabbit,
Rabbit, rabbit, squirrel. Rabbit, 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 squirrel. 3 rabbits and a squirrel.
and probably another squirrel over here.
Could be. Who knows?
This is the dancing scene.
But
Let's
there
select
he is,
the movie.
playing
Yep.
the organ. They have a nice little build up there in the corner too for like a shelf. Yep, right there. I think that looks really nice too.
Yeah, there's stuff hanging below it too on these
Nice,
clips.
good design. I think it's actually held on by that clip. I think that's what's holding it up there.
I think these are corner panels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's held on like that. So that's kind of interesting,
we're figuring this out.
as opposed to a some sort of piece with a snot stud on it.
Right.
This isn't as exciting, but now we've got Snow White next to the well. I think the well looks pretty good. Um, Nothing like amazing about the well, but it's a cute little build.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the use of this. The steering wheel piece is like
Yes.
the winch for the well or whatever you call it.
I like
The
the
thing you would toss the rope over to lower your bucket down.
horn piece for the vines, and I like
Yes.
the use of the rocker hinge for the roof.
Yes, good old classic rocker hinge action.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's a cute little build for sure. And then
Yep.
here's the sarcophagus of Doom. Looks like there's some bright gold, some shiny gold pieces on here.
Yeah.
That will be interesting. I think this is that piece we were just. Oh no, this is a slightly different piece.
Yeah. Well,
Rounded over on the corners on this.
is that just a 1x1 tile? A 1x1 rounded tile.
No, it looks like it's one piece.
Does
So it
it?
looks like it's 2x2 with the corner cut out of it in gold. And there's 2 of them here and then 2 of them back here. They don't go down all the way because we've got this. What is this piece? The rail piece here on the side. So they are just 2x2s with the very corner cut out of them. But the corner there is a flat tile. I'm not sure I've seen that. You know, now that I look at it though, I think these 2 pieces are a different color. So I think that I've seen this. I may have seen this piece before as just like a curved piece, and then perhaps there's a different third piece here, but I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Hmm.
It's interesting to say the least.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you again. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, this part will be a mystery until somebody actually sees or gets the set. And we talked quite a bit before about whether or not using several of these hideous, super squished tri-leaf pieces would make the tree better or worse. I don't think there's enough of them used here to make it, you know, something that we could make a definitive decision on, but it doesn't look significantly better. I think we would need, 15 of these things before we'd get anywhere. That made sense on this. I do like the cornstalk piece here plus the candle piece, I guess, for lack of better word. I don't know what else you would call that. Used to make these trees. I saw something similar on Asha's cabin out of the Disney line where they were using this as like a support element design. So I have a feeling this piece will become popular with mockers, if it isn't already, for making trees as we go forward. And actually, maybe Mark could use this piece for his sakura branches that he was talking about before. They are a little thinner than what he was working with. So this might be a decent idea too. He could do this and then use the action piece to get a little more of an angle to hang some of those sakura branches from. The action piece as named by alternate candidate. So that might be a interesting idea for him that we can bring up when he comes down here. A little tiny mini pine tree, and then the bigger one. I don't know that I love this transition on the pine tree from
Yeah,
this style to this.
and they use it all over the place in the set.
They've used it several times. There's also this big gap down here with the bright red tiny axle.
Hmm.
While you were off wandering about there, Mark, I also mentioned that this design here for the tree stem with the corn stalk piece and then the candle piece,
Yeah.
this might be something that would be usable by you for the sakura tree, for the cherry blossom trees
Yes.
you were working on.
I do have those, and I thought of that as we were talking. But mostly just the what's it called? The candlestick piece.
Yeah.
I have none of those branch pieces, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I've seen this in Asha's cabin, and I've seen it in green a few times, in brown. So it's becoming more useful in brown.
Yeah, agreed.
And then here's this last picture of it, fully hinged, fully closed, I guess.
Yeah.
With both sides of the roof on. So there you go. You can see how far down it hangs.
Yeah.
Here, it doesn't look like it's clipped in any special way.
There's got to be something there.
It looks like it's just sitting there, but there must be something to secure it.
Yeah.
That we can't really see so well.
Agreed.
There you go. So a couple interesting pieces. I'm interested to see this piece. If it isn't already, well known.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see that one for sure. This down here kind of looks strange to me. Doesn't this look like two different colors? Like this is reddish brown and this is some weird off color of reddish brown.
Oh, I'm not getting into a discussion about different color browns.
I know we won't and shouldn't, but it looks very strange from here.
Maybe it does. I don't know.
But that's kind of weird. And this color here,
yeah,
along with this color, they don't match the reddish brown.
Oh, so right. Oh, so there's not even reddish brown wine glasses. So I still have some.
They look like they're a bronzy color.
I agree with you on this.
Or something. I don't know, because they don't really match the dark orange either.
Oh no. Sure. Oh no.
We'll not worry about this, and we'll discover it when the set comes out. But there you have it. Some interesting parts on the set. So
we've talked about this. Alternate candidate says, I think if you go really heavy with a squash leaf piece, you can make an interesting look.
Yeah. So
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I need to get my hands on them to figure it out. I mean,
three is definitely still not enough. That we can agree on, right?
Smushy, yes. The smushy leaves I don't necessarily get, and just dealing with those cherry blossom branches this week, getting pieces to overlap, like they're smushy, and so they're smushed in that exact position. So to put them together in a bulky way might be hard to differentiate them from each other unless you really get the geometry right. That's my initial response.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think they mix particularly well with the single tri-leaf pieces because these have so much more personality.
Yeah.
In terms of the leaves kind of sticking up and everything else. Yeah. I think you would definitely need way more than 3 to get it to work.
Agreed.
Alternate candidate suggests maybe the side roof just kind of hangs in a similar way to the medieval blacksmith.
Mm,
So it's not necessarily swooshable because that piece is going to fall off. But yeah, I mean, this just does not look very secure with the way it's sitting in there.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I wonder if they used a rail piece down here or something else if it would hold better. It's probably
Or a bracket,
wouldn't work quite right.
or a ball hinge, like what are those? A mixel hinge.
Yeah, I don't know.
The middle of the roof looks like it rests on plates.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we can see that here. It just seems like that's not the world's greatest device to keep the roof in place. It also seems like this other side of the roof could come off pretty easily too, because it seems to be held on the same way. Looks like it's got a stop up here or something though to keep it from sliding off a little bit with this piece, sort of holding it in place. But who knows? This might pull off really easily too, and you could get in there even more. And who knows about this third side? How is this connected, if at all? I think it's probably connected more because it's got this gable in front too.
Yeah.
But who knows?
A lot of
So there you
garbage
go.
there. Yeah.
So from the box, from what I remember, this is well, it's not. Oh yeah, here's listed on here. 2,228 pieces.
Yeah.
And I think the price on this was $220, I want to say. So it's not outlandish. Yeah. I don't think it's quite as good a deal price to parts wise as the medieval market square.
Right.
Market or town square, whatever it is, medieval town square. But this one's definitely a more substantial single building with some really nice techniques in it.
Yeah, the roof is amazing.
Lots of colors. If you want the yellow roof, that's up to you.
Well, if you want a straw thatch roof and you like castle,
yeah,
you're into that sort of thing.
If you're into that sort of thing, I'm definitely not. But if you are,
definitely respect for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely definitely not something I'm into. But I also like the sort of the Tudor style here with the sloped tiles used to help make the slant here. You can still see there's some sloppy work down here where you can see a little bit of the colored 1x1 snot piece underneath it.
Okay.
They could have just gone with another tan one,
right?
I guessed, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the idiot here.
Perhaps.
So I've also got a birdhouse on the roof.
There's a birdhouse on the birch tree too.
There is, but this one on the roof. I'm like, who puts a birdhouse on their roof? That might be accurate to the movie.
Perhaps.
It's just kind of random to have a birdhouse on a roof.
Yeah. I like we're getting that swamp grass piece in white. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yep. Swamp grass are under the seas. And of course the name of the set, is it on here? I don't know.
It's not.
But we've got Snow White and the Seven Gnomes written up here. Oh, and if we could see the top of the box, we maybe would have been able to pull out their names.
It's called Snow White and the Seven Gnomes Cottage is the name of the set.
That makes sense. So
yeah, they probably do have the names on there. Let me see if I can see it on the. Oh, there's a picture on Lego.com that does not appear on Brothers Brick.
Ooh.
Or maybe it does, and I wasn't paying attention. It's this exciting picture. Hold on. You talk while I figure out how to present my screen.
Sure. Yeah. So we do have pictures of all of the Seven Gnomes, as well. Bashful's got these bright, bashfully cheeks. Dopey looks like he's got a kiss on the forehead from Snow White.
Aw.
Sleepy. Nothing about Sleepy makes him look overly sleepy. He's kind of got bags over his eyes.
Over his eyes? That's odd.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you the truth here. So you've got that piece. Let me switch to this one quick.
Yes.
Looks like he's got heavy eyelids there. So I think that's Sleepy there. With
correct. Yeah, bags over his eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a light brick.
Ah, well, okay. Wonderful. Just what we
Hey,
needed
look,
was the light brick.
bread loaves. That cup is definitely not the same color as the table,
Nope.
and neither are those heart pieces for the chairs.
Nope.
What color is that? We are.
They also don't match the bread loaves. They're like a bronze
Yeah,
color.
they don't.
I don't know.
Where-
And we spent all that time, in fairness, we
Mhm.
spent a lot of time discussing what color orange that was in the space sets. Turns out it was a new color.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe this is another new color here.
Here's a question.
Look right here, the mantle.
Yes, I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's obviously this other color as well.
That
I don't know what
this
color it is. Yeah.
this here.
Yep.
Yeah, it does look like that. What's this?
That's a 1x1 or 2x2 round tile with stud in the middle.
Oh,
It
thank
does
you.
exist.
Yeah, that's a 2x2 round jumper. What the hell is it representing?
Dish maybe, like a plate.
A dish with a hole in the center. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, I know those.
yeah.
Yeah, I have those.
I don't know.
Candle.
That's an excellent question.
Ah!
Candle, a cup, and that.
Tainted brown.
Tainted brown. Jesse coming through in the clutch.
That's right, tainted brown.
So
That is what we shall call it, no matter what they call it.
brown.
Oh,
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 tainted
yeah,
brown.
yeah. I like that. I'm all on board.
And then we've got this. Do we have any ridiculous lifestyle shots? I just need to.
Oh yes, yeah. No, we definitely do. We have some that remind me of the Blockiverse shots, where it's just like scattered pieces of the set, top like from like aerial view of like tearing the set apart.
The one thing I didn't mention, I don't know why I just clicked that. Do the thing. Come on. Okay, hold on.
Do what?
There it goes. What? I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
So we've got this one where it's nice and in focus. I don't know whose house this is with the fancy fireplace. I did notice that the princess cape in one of these shots is there it is. Got like this checkered pattern that goes across the back. So he's got himself a super extra fancy cape, not a regular cape.
Oh, nice.
Because he's superior to all of us.
We don't like that.
But back to our vanity shot here. There it is on your nice, super expensive wooden table next to your tiled fireplace. That's where you can keep this. This is where I would keep mine, for sure.
Yes.
Where else would you have it or want it? Who's building this set for us, Mark? Who's this intended for?
It can be.
I'm gonna throw it up here. Here it is.
A young mother whose kids are at school and she wants to entertain herself, and she's also non-white. So that's who's allowed to build this. I love. There's one on Brothers Brick. Let me see if I can find it, where they have like the junk shot from the top. It's actually not on Lego.com. Oh, hey, that was my.
Back over to this while you're typing things. It's all good.
See if I can find it. I'm still on like 1,000% zoom in there. So let me see if I can find it again.
Yeah.
So the way I found it originally was kind of convoluted, where I just kept clicking the screen and new pictures would come up. And I didn't understand what was happening. Oh, same thing's happening again. But yeah, lifestyle shot here. I mean, this is definitely one where I expect to see a family playing with it.
We're still waiting. You'll get there. You'll get there. I know you'll get there.
Oh, got it. Hold on.
Back one. There you go. Okay, I'm going to throw this up. We'll add it to the stage.
Why? Look at the bowl. Look at the bowl with the parts in it.
I have witnessed in the Lego instructions, they tell you first, sort the pieces. Those pieces aren't sorted. And why do they have just giant piles of the roof pieces in one bowl?
No, and why is the bowl not like round?
That is a odd-shaped bowl, probably because symmetric bowls are stupid, Mark.
I want it. I'm just wondering why they used it for this. These bowls are round. This one is definitely not. And we can see the difference between all the browns here.
Yeah. It's It's some new shade. Maybe it's a shade that already exists and we're just idiots, but it looks
Yeah,
like a
think
coppery color
they
almost.
have again several colors of brown that aren't produced in parts that they use for like Lego busts to like match like all the existing like the many existing skin tones that are out there. We had them at the shop at Legoland, and they're not official. They're all Q elements, right? So I would not be surprised if they just snuck one in every once in a while, and this would be the one to do it for. And Disney's 50th anniversary year. Do you know how many YouTube videos I've watched? This has been my new obsession.
Sovereign Citizens.
Like your sovereign
Yep.
citizens.
Yep.
I've been watching YouTube videos that are trying to prove that Wish, the most recent Disney movie, was written by AI. It's a fun dive. Rather,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I can handle both that conspiracy theory and Sovereign Citizens and still find time to play Fortnite and build Lego.
That's true. Yeah,
And parent if you have to. I don't know.
I don't. Well, I have a fur baby, but like she's a lot easier to parent probably than
That might be
than
true.
a human baby.
It depends.
Probably.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so here's another lifestyle shot. We've got it here on a bench. I don't know why. Don't sit on it. It's just sitting on the bench out here.
The last thing I want in my life is that wallpaper.
Yeah, that's some interesting wallpaper. They got a nice little pot with some plants over here you can use as inspiration.
Yeah,
It's like a wicker pot holder with some sort of dead fern in it. I don't know.
like a half dead fern.
It's only half dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where you'd put it. The picture's like half out of focus, so I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at.
I don't know either.
I can't tell if these little chimney stacks up here are
Is that
that newish color or if they're dark orange or what they are.
right?
I don't know.
Chimney's disappointing, by the way. Oh, look here. There's an extra one on Brothers Brick as well here, where she's in process of building it.
Oh, what's she building there?
I don't know, but she's an asymmetric build right here.
Which
The table with different colors.
Oh, there's the table.
Yeah. Can I ask you,
How'd I miss that one?
what's going on with her sleeves? These are the important questions that you guys like and subscribe. But what is going on with her sleeves? Seriously, this is a problem.
This is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
We'll flip over to mine here. I got the zoom going on here.
Oh, I just zoomed in. Oh man. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mark, but I got it on a wheel, so I can zoom super in. It's like here's your cuff, then here's a scrunchy design, then here's a secondary cuff. It's possible she's wearing two blue shirts. I think she has a blue shirt on underneath, and then a blue sweater, and this is the material for the undershirt.
Okay.
That's just coming out over the top of the sweater cuff.
I was going to suggest that it was photoshopped until I realized that the right arm matches the left arm.
Yes.
And also, if you could just scroll up a little bit, this is not just a sweater; it's a sweater dress. I'm sorry, scroll down.
Scroll down. Yes, it is a sweater dress.
Yeah, that thing just keeps on going.
Yeah, so she's got a blue shirt on that's the same color as the sweater dress. And then she's got on the sweater dress, and she's wearing jeans under that. That's important. I noticed that earlier too. Also, look at the asymmetric top of her glass over here. Look at this thing.
Ew, I was just looking at that.
Do you find that hard to drink out of, or not?
It's like a tiny pitcher. And then the fact that she's like, so the kids are at school. She's building the Snow White in the Seven Gnomes cottage, and she lit a candle.
Martin says, tuning in for the first time in a while, and the attention to detail on this image is gold. We deep dive.
Well, and just because we've insulted her so much, I would have to say her hair is on point.
Her hair's lovely.
She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
I mean, person. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know who bought her that sweater. I blame wardrobe.
Yes, I don't like the double same color shirt thing that's just made this look crazy. I will say though, I think she is actually touching the Lego.
She is actually. She's not actually constructing a bomb. And they photoshopped the Lego set over it, right? This is something that we've seen before.
We have.
And again, Ben, what's above the fireplace? That's just so boring to me.
I
What?
don't know. I mean, plate is my initial response, but
Yes,
yeah, why does it have a hole in the center?
they have a 2x2 round tile without the jumper. They also have a plate.
The plate is kind of a big element, but you're right, they do. But yeah, the regular old 2x2 round.
If it didn't have the jumper stud in the middle, I would have no questions. Martin asks, so the shadows in the glass, I think that's off. No, so we called it a tiny picture
I
because
think it's got an odd shape, and she has this other odd shaped bowl up here.
I
This bowl over here is not
I love
round.
and I love asymmetry. This is what we talk about all the time on here, Martin. Is like asymmetry is my thing, but not in a glass. If you're going to accidentally stab yourself in the lip with it, well,
Try to drink from it, and it's like all half out of your mouth because you're going like this, making a nice round shape in your mouth, and then it's like sticking out the side.
what? All right, now we're going to get into the depths of it. If anything in this image is photoshopped in, it's that glass.
Well, okay. I'll flip over to yours, and then let me see. You can look at that one. We'll see if I can find another image that involves this glass. Okay,
I mean, let's just compare the glass to the size of her hands and her head. And those bowls are really small. Remember the picture from like looking the aerial shot? Look, compare the size of this glass of water to this bowl. Why on earth would they want to Photoshop in a glass of water? Oh, and that's what Martin meant. The shadow is way off. I almost swore. I don't know what we're seeing over here.
But here's the other.
Well, they nailed it because we'd see the opposite because of the double convex. Not the convex. The what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. But we're seeing the opposite because here's a reflection of her blue dress over here, and here's the light. That's how you'd actually see.
I think it is actually there. Here's another one. There's
Ew,
that same
glass.
glass.
I hate it.
And you can see it kind of flares up on the sides.
I hate that glass.
You can still see this, weird thing with the double arm.
I know. Why does she have triple cuffs? Oh, but you're right. It throws me off that it's the same color. Now that I'm zoomed in like this.
Yeah, it's two different shirts. You can see she's got a separate collar up here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I don't know. We're not the fashion police, but
good thing we covered the set thoroughly before we got into this. The shadow on the bowl on the left doesn't match the shadow of the glass. I think because it's clear. If it's actually there, you can see kind of like almost a tree shaped. Let me move this up.
Yeah, because there's light. There's light getting through it.
So it's getting the edges of the glass. I don't know what this. That's probably just a grain in the table. And then this would be the way you'd see if the light was coming from over here. I think the glass is actually there. I just don't understand the size of it. How many ounces is that cup? And yeah, I don't understand the asymmetrical lip here.
I wonder if there's just
angry
because of the whatever it is. It's the camera's hyper focused on that glass in this picture.
I'm hyper focused.
But then on this other one that I have here, it's blurry, and it doesn't look. It still looks weirdly out of place, but I don't think it is. I think it belongs there. Because I don't know why you would Photoshop a random glass of water. Though I will notice she's clearly drinking water between takes.
Yeah.
Because we've got more water in the glass in this picture than this picture.
Good call.
Here she's had a few sips.
Oh, hey, so in the entertainment industry, they call it continuity.
Continuity, yes. We got continuity problems here.
So right here, we can see that is two 2x6 rounded plates stuck together with sand green hinges. So there's no flat bottom. They just tiled it flat on the outside. So now we have our answer to that question.
Oof, we suspected and we've proven right. Now we just have to find out if we've got a third shade of brown in here. It doesn't look like it's nougat. It doesn't look like it's British brown.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's orange or dark orange. Looks like it's some third shade.
So, new question: is this a stocking by the fireplace here?
Good question. I
Wrong.
don't know. I would say yes. That's somebody's sock that they're drying out.
Maybe that happens in the movie. I don't remember all the details.
Yeah, you seem to remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
Was
I
this a go-to for you as a kid?
No, I didn't see it till I don't think I saw it till I was in like high school because it
Okay.
wasn't available. They didn't like because they only released them like every 7 years in the theaters.
Yeah, wasn't out of the Disney vault.
Yeah, and then they'd only be available on video for a certain time. So I don't think it came out on video until I was in high school,
Okay.
perhaps even college. So I think I've seen it once or twice.
All right.
I remember weird things.
Yeah, hey, it's your prerogative to remember weird things. I do like the cuckoo clock in this picture if we're
Thank you.
looking.
I was looking at her wall. I was like, she has a cuckoo clock on top
Yeah,
of.
by the door here. Got a nice little cuckoo clock.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. This is important. Um, this wicker pot with the half dead fern in it is now behind her sink.
Yeah, that before was in the hallway. We just saw that sad thing
All right, back to the
a
cuckoo clock.
minute ago.
Sorry, cuckoo clock is more important.
No, no, no. Maybe they just really like this thing and they've got it in 4 places in this apartment. But there we go, proof that it's both here
And she can only keep
and up here.
half of a fern alive. That's like her plant thing.
We need to do a forensic deep dive. Is that the same basket? It looks awfully similar.
Looks like the same plant too. At least the same breed of plant, if
Same
not the
type of
same
plant.
exact plant. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one looks alive, but we're only seeing it from one angle, where the other one we can see it from the side.
I don't know what to tell you.
Doing this. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to be told.
I'm glad we only have one Lego set to look at this week because then we
Yeah.
can, really get into the meat of importance of this. Like, why is this lady wearing 2 shirts that are the same color? I don't know.
VMAC Attack says it's clearly a fern gully.
Clearly,
That's where she lives.
why wouldn't it be? And
Was
then
that
here
dream
are all 7 dwarves plus Snow White plus the prince plus the
witch
evil hag witch
with her hair printed on her shirt?
with her hair shirt print. Yes. So here, look at both Sneezy and Sleepy. They both have nearly identical expressions.
Yeah.
The only difference is that Sleepy, of course, has the bags over his eyes,
Over
not
his
under his eyes, over his eyes,
heavy eyelids, perhaps.
heavy eyelids.
There we go.
But like their cheeks have got the same line. They both got he's yawning, he's sneezing. So
Enough that we forgot Sneezy was a person. I'm sorry, a gnome.
a gnome, a gnome.
I forgot Sneezy was a gnome.
Yes. Look how grumpy actually looks now, though. Before he
Grumpy?
wasn't super grumpy, but I think these are the alternate expressions. And
Oh,
Grumpy's like, yeah, I'm grumpy.
Ben.
No hiding it here. Yeah.
I was going to try to hold it, but I have to use the bathroom again. Sorry.
Wow.
I'll be back and then maybe we can wrap up.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna throw this back up on here because the other thing that I want to mention is the torsos, of course. Might be ones that I would tend to think maybe I could use for, I don't know, medieval if I was into that sort of thing. Type figures. They all have this very cartoony large button motif on them. They'd probably still be usable. Dual printed arms on dock. That kind of makes that harder. Unless I guess you could have kind of a flesh colored arm if you have like the yellow hands, because my minifigs I tend to use are more of the classic yellow toned stuff. The prince, on the other hand, his torso and legs look like they could be well used for a very stately nobleman. I'm not sure what I would ever do with the witch's torso, though, with that gross hair hanging down. It just, unless you put like white hair on her that also hangs down, it's not the choice I would have made. I probably would have just hid the hair, period, and gone with the hood. But I think she's representing a character, and the character had this disgusting white hair coming out of the hood, so you might as well just do it. Let's see here. I think 6 of the 7 dwarves are wearing that new hat piece, or sorry, gnomes are wearing that new hat piece that we saw in Medieval Town Square. I'm getting all these ads served to me. This is the worst.
Yeah.
Everyone can see I'm getting served Minnesota legal ads. They think I need to take my continuing education. Nursing scrubs and uniforms. Yeah, that's definitely something I need in search. But there we go. We've got all 7 gnomes, and we're getting 6 of the new hats. It looks like it's how many different colors? Yellow, kind of this weird green color, this mint green color that doesn't really seem to match another color.
Oh, great.
Dark orange, bright yellow, and then dark tan. So
here we go again.
well, we noticed that when we looked at the medieval town squares, that the hat looked like it was kind of
an odd
color.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Lego seems to maybe be getting a little crazy with colors all of a sudden again.
Yeah.
They rapidly expanded colors before they had a bunch of financial troubles, and then they contracted back down, and now maybe they're going out again. Yeah. Who knows?
Perhaps. I think also like they're really watching their bottom line again. I think they overproduced, which they had the demand for during the pandemic, and I think now they're pulling back a bit. Seems to be what's happening.
Yeah, a lot of people had that problem. I've had problems finding in stores the ukulele, even though you were like, who would ever buy this set? I'm like, actually, I want it because there's a couple parts in there that are useful.
I think the light.
I can't find it.
Yeah, the light aqua parts. I think it's like the heaviest parts pack for light aqua. But apparently, obviously they do their research, their market research before they release a set, and obviously people want something like that. Perhaps I don't, but it doesn't mean other people don't want it. So I accept that other people have different opinions.
Yeah, you know what I think we might do? Not as a dig at you, but just for funsies, we might keep a tally of the pee breaks that you take during the show, just for posterity, or whatever you want to call it. Not prostate, posterity. I got it.
Prostraterity, I think is what.
Yeah, who knows? But we'll keep track. Maybe we'll even do maybe we'll add a song or some interlude music while you're in the loo.
So what I do before I go to the dog park is I stop drinking anything for an hour beforehand. Like I want to drink water, I want to drink pop, I want to drink, like whatever I drink while I'm working, because I'm like, oh wait, it's 2 o'clock. I got to make sure that this doesn't happen at the dog park, because I've run into this problem at the dog park where I've got 2 dogs off leash, and I'm like, I need to run over to the clubhouse, and the dogs are going to follow me, and so it's always kind of like everyone works with me to make sure the dogs don't chase me over there, or if they won't leave me alone, then I'm going to take them both off leash into the public bathroom at the clubhouse. It's a whole thing. Had problems with this since I was like 17, and it's just life.
That's just life. I also wanted to say that this
life
note, the Clearly Afer and Gully, is from VMAC Attack. Do we know VMAC Attack, or do we have a new Tainted visiting us today?
I believe, from what I saw, they were new.
Oh, awesome. So welcome, VMAC Attack.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hopefully you enjoyed all of our random rantings today and our deep dive into what our beautiful model was wearing.
Exactly.
If you like that kind of stuff, you can like and subscribe. We do this every Sunday. Do we get this derailed all the time?
Not so much. Yeah, no, we probably do.
Sometimes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've gone 3.5 hours before.
Oh yeah, we've had longer rants than this.
Oh, easily.
Oh, for sure.
As we should.
Mac Attack says, I know Mark. Doesn't everybody know Mark though? The real thing is, does Mark remember you? And that's not an offense or an attack at you. It's just Mark meets a lot of people because everybody loves Mark.
I remember a lot of names too, but
You
unless you
do.
introduce yourself to me as V Mac Attack, or if I've known you for like decades and I've never known your online handle, then I'm still no response. Like
It's quite possible with Mark that he will uh, associate your handle with a different person though for years. So
yeah, oh easily.
yeah, that happens.
Next week I'll be like, oh, that's my buddy from Australia.
It's Vince from Brickworld, Fort Wayne.
Oh, I know who you are. Yeah, of course.
Vince Mac, I'm guessing. VMAC attack.
Well, no, but it is M. I obviously, unless he wants me to say his name,
No, you
I
don't need to.
won't say it. But yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, good. And we'll see you in 6 months or so. 7, 8, 5. I don't know.
You could come to Milwaukee. That's just in 2 months.
You come to Indy.
Or you could come to Indy.
2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever.
Or you could go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Or you could go to all of them.
True. Yep. You could do that.
Yep.
These are all true statements.
Chicago, most likely, we hear from Vince, from VMAC.
Nice.
I'll be there as well. Mark will be there. Come up and say hi to me, and I won't remember you. It's, again, not offensive. I don't remember anybody's name.
So I kind of already hit next show.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully Lego Crimes next week. We'll check in with Nicole tomorrow to see if she's going to be around. And if not, we'll do some sort of like interesting Lego news thing between Ben and I. But we save Lego Crimes for Nicole, of course. But I'll definitely be here, barring any tragedies.
Yeah, she's got piles of new sets, that Nicole.
She has piles of like great news. She's been doing a lot of stuff. She's a recognized Lego content creator, recognized Lego influencer, whatever they call them now. I don't know.
Super secret, not secret ninja.
Yes, she's that.
So maybe she can, bring a little more cred to us morons over here talking about
like
ladies' shirts for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, like you said she had the Animal Crossing sets, and I was like, damn it. And Sean told me the same thing, and so do quite a few other Lego influencers. Just Too Good just reviewed all of them. I'm just like, okay, that's great. I am slightly jealous, but at the same time, I'm like, can I at least pre-order them? I refresh that page every day. Like, can I pre-order these yet? And no, you can't even pre-order them yet. They're gonna be out in like a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we get to it? I want these things. I want to know that I'm going to be able to get them.
The day before Z's spouse's birthday.
Oh, nice.
She might get some birthday presents that are Animal Crossing sets.
Oh, yeah, I bet you she wants that. Does she?
She hasn't said that, but, she might think the figures are cute.
Well, she also hasn't said that she doesn't want them.
It's true.
Yeah.
And if I happen to go out that morning and buy them and bring them home and she sees them and says, oh, are those for my birthday? I'll just say, yeah. This is a foolproof plan.
Yeah, you're nailing it.
Yeah, if she asks if they're for her birthday, the answer is yes.
Yes.
If she doesn't ask, then, hey, I got some Animal Crossing sets.
I don't think you can go wrong with this plan.
Z's spouse now reports that she is here.
Oh, hey. How are ya?
She came in about 9 o'clock, so she's been here for about half an hour. So she missed all the earlier juicy stuff, but
yeah, she'll have to go back and watch. I'm sure she wants to watch 2.5 hours of this.
She does, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's her favorite show on YouTube.
Ah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Mine too.
Yeah. She's more of a TikTok person, though. We got to get more on TikTok. Then maybe we'll get recognized by her. She'll be like, oh, those are the idiots from TikTok.
Well, I'm working on it, actually.
She always says to me, I got to show you this funny thing from TikTok.
So does Matt. I'm like, okay. I sit there and watch like people writing musicals over each other, stitching their songs together, playing different parts of original songs. I'm like, yeah, you already played this one for me.
That's not what I get. It's usually funny comedians that she's like, we should go see this person.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, and the answer is, yeah, we probably should, but when are we going to find time for that? Or when are they going to be here? Oh, they're going to be here in June. I'm like, I'm not going to remember this. And then what's going to happen is like 3 weeks before, or 3 nights before we go, I'm going to be like, hey, what are we doing, Saturday? She's going, oh, we're going to see comedian such and such. Don't you remember when I told you that? I'm like, in February? No, I don't. But, that's just how it goes. Z spouse is a lovely person.
I was gonna say, it sounds like
She's amazing, and I love her. She takes care of a lot of stuff for me. But
sounds like you're boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's constantly, I told you about X, and I'm like, one time 4 weeks ago, and I don't remember.
right.
So,
Keep a calendar. It's the way to do it.
well, we sort of do. If she puts it on my work calendar, then I'll see it the week of.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to see it 3 weeks before.
You can set reminders. Set yourself a 3-week reminder and a 2-week reminder and a 1-day reminder.
Ugh. She should be keeping my calendar for me for that kind of thing. Okay, what do we got for an outro? Before we get there,
Yeah.
we can't forget, though, that there's one thing to note when you're building is that our friend Bob Ross, our icon, our mentor, our everything, Bob Ross, tells you there are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. So happy building, keeping in mind, it's not a mistake. It's just something you did. It's a happy accident. Keep bricking. Keep going.
Sometimes hours of happy accidents. Brick Story, Dreamgirls Cruise Ship Building Toys Playset Creative Friends Yacht Building Sets, 318 pieces, Girls City Boat Model Building Kit, Christmas Birthday Gift for kids ages 6 to 12. Let's check it out. It's also a Carnival Cruise Line. Oh, wait a minute. It's a Rival? Look at... All right, so we see... All right, before I touch this picture, well, let's just go right there. It says Carnival here. What does this say? Carn Real. Right? Something crazy has been photoshopped already for zero reason.
Yeah.
You can play with this set even if you're Siamese twins. Role play?
Yeah. Fair enough. Or room decoration.
With your glass vase of different colored straws.
Straws.
And they're bendy straws.
Well, duh. Why would you even... And I sure as hell hope they aren't paper straws, okay?
I do too, actually.
Whether you love the environment or hate the environment,
you can hate paper straws and love the
paper
environment.
Straws are terrible regardless.
No, they're garbage. Oh, look at that. What's that?
What's what? Okay.
What's behind the windshield?
What is behind the windshield?
Look.
No.
There's some weird ass minifigure in there.
How is that possible?
There's two.
Figures.
There's two. It's like we're being invaded. It's just like we just made first contact with Blockoverse people. Can you not see it? How can
I can see him. I can see him.
You can see him now?
I can. He's like a mini doll.
Yeah, I think they're both
at the
women.
Steering wheel. And you're right. And then there's one back behind peeking its head out. But they only appear in that picture. I think that's the same picture, just rescaled, that they used in the lifestyle shop, the Siamese twins. So you can see them sort of there.
Oh my god, you're right. Look at that.
It's the same picture.
Siamese twins. We're making discoveries. This is why, like, physics research is important.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Lifestyle picture, Siamese twins. The girl on the left. The girl on the left, she's holding like a pen or maybe a detonator with a bright red light on the end.
He 100% is.
She's also in the bomb making business. Look at that.
End stream. End it.